Chapter 2669. Swoosh. 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 Just as Ling Xiao rose into the air, Willow King's hundreds of millions of sword chi streaked across the sky, containing the power to pierce through everything. It was so sharp that even Ling Xiao felt threatened. Kill! Ling Xiao roared, and a powerful fighting spirit surged around him. He punched out in the air, and purple chi spread out for 3,000 feet, colliding with the sword chi that filled the sky. The sound of metal clashing erupted, and sparks flew everywhere. Boom! All of Ling Xiao's pores were spewing out purple gold light. It was his powerful chi and blood. It spread out and formed an extremely powerful barrier, blocking the sword chi that filled the sky outside. At the same time, Ling Xiao's speed was like lightning. He dodged Willow King's attack while looking for an opportunity to counterattack. The refining speed of the core of the 10,000 demon banner is actually so slow. Ling Xiao furrowed his brows, his eyes filled with incomparable doubt. His primordial spirit was also extremely powerful. He used the power of his primordial spirit to activate the sky-devouring fire, wanting to refine the giant black banner in his hand. However, Ling Xiao could feel that the giant black banner seemed to be resisting his power, and it was extremely difficult to do so. Crack! King Pine Cypress and White Dragon King charged over again. Their eyes were like lightning, and their bodies were filled with murderous intent. Speaking of which, King Pine Cypress and White Dragon King hated Ling Xiao the most. If it were not for Ling Xiao, King Pine Cypress might have refined the core of the 10,000 demon banner. At this moment, Ling Xiao held the core of the 10,000 demon banner in his hand, and became the focus of the 4 demon kings' attacks. They all wanted to kill him. Rumble. The 4 demon kings' attacks were extremely fierce, and each attack was aimed at Ling Xiao's vital points. After all, they were all celestial venerables. Although they were in the forbidden zone and could not use the Great Path's precepts, his physical body had been refined for thousands of years, and his primordial spirit was even more powerful. His strength had reached the peak of the Saint Path, and his combat strength had not decreased by much. If it were only one demon king, Ling Xiao might be able to suppress him quickly. However, when the 4 demon kings joined forces, the combat strength that erupted from them made Ling Xiao feel extremely pressured. Although the 4 demon kings were not on good terms with each other, their cultivation had reached their current level. When it came to joining forces in a battle, their coordination was superb. Almost as soon as they made a move, Ling Xiao was at a disadvantage. Ling Xiao blocked left and right. Although his physical body was extremely strong, he was unable to effectively deal any damage to a demon king. He could only passively resist the attacks of the 4 demon kings. Ling Tian, hand over the core of the myriad demon banner. Otherwise you'll definitely die today. King Pine and Cypress said coldly. His eyes were incomparably cold. His strength was the strongest, and the strength of his body was incomparably terrifying. His body contained immortal energy, and even his bones had been refined into indestructible bones. Although he had been severely injured by the prison monument, his attacks were ruthless and decisive. Each of his attacks had targeted Ling Xiao's vital points, making Ling Xiao feel incomparably troubled. Almost in an instant, they had fought over 100 rounds. The 4 demon kings had firmly gained the upper hand. King Pine and Cypress saw that Ling Xiao was about to be suppressed, so he hoped to tempt Ling Xiao into giving him the core of the myriad demon banner. Ling Tian, as long as you give me the giant black banner in your hand, our grudges will be written off. I'll spare your life. The White Dragon King also sneered. Ling Tian, my young friend, you'd better hand over the giant black banner. Such a treasure is not something you can possess. If you continue to resist stubbornly, only death will await you. The Peony King also sighed softly. She still had a good impression of Ling Xiao, and did not want to see Ling Xiao die. However, this battle for the myriad demon banner was a battle of luck. She could not give it up just because she had a good impression of Ling Xiao. Whoosh! Willow King's eyes were cold. Although he did not speak, a willow branch swept across the sky like a sharp sword. It was extremely sharp, instantly leaving a deep wound on Ling Xiao's back. He had used his actions to express his attitude. The 4 demon kings were determined to obtain the myriad demon banner. If Ling Xiao did not hand over the myriad demon banner, they would not hold back at all. You Do you really think you've got me? Ling Xiao abruptly raised his head, and his eyes became incomparably blood-red. His entire body emitted an incomparably violent aura. Umph. You're courting death. King Pine Cypress's eyes flashed with murderous intent. In an instant, his vital energy and blood surged, and a large yellow palm pressed down on Ling Xiao. Rumble. The purple-gold vital energy and blood in Ling Xiao's body surged like a surging river. His body seemed to emit a vast power of the great Tao. It overflowed from his body like thunder, causing the void to rumble violently. Kill! Ling Xiao suddenly roared. His eyes contained a strong fighting spirit as he punched towards King Pine Cypress. His fist was unparalleled and contained an invincible aura. It was as if it had turned into a chaotic divine dragon in an instant. The dragon's aura was unparalleled as it pressed down on King Pine Cypress. Seeing that Ling Xiao seemed to want to fight King Pine Cypress, White Dragon King, Peony King, and Willow King also took the opportunity to attack Ling Xiao. Just like Feng Er said, this brat has the bloodline of the Dragon Clan. He has at least the bloodline of the 9-star Divine Dragon, or even the bloodline of the Ancestral Dragon. As long as I devour his bloodline, I might be able to take the last step. White Dragon King thought to himself. His eyes were filled with an incomparable murderous intent. White Dragon King's body was surging with blood-red light. His eyes flickered with a dangerous fluctuation. His palm silently turned into a large blood-red palm print, and then directly slammed towards Ling Xiao's back. Blood Dragon swallowing the Sky Seal. This was White Dragon King's most terrifying innate ability. It could devour the essence, blood, and primordial spirit of living creatures, and turn it into a part of himself. It was this ability that allowed White Dragon King to grow to this day. However, he rarely revealed the blood dragon devouring heaven seal in front of outsiders. Anyone who saw it was already dead. Until he saw that Ling Xiao was about to fight King Pine Cypress, he quietly used the blood dragon swallowing the Sky Seal to injure Ling Xiao and devour his bloodline of the Ancestral Dragon. Rumble. Ling Xiao and King Pine Cypress suddenly collided. In an instant, the void trembled, and blazing divine light gushed out. Ling Xiao's body shook, and he was directly sent flying by King Pine Cypress. King Pine Cypress's eyes revealed a strange look. He realized that Ling Xiao's strength was very strong, and it didn't seem like he was going to risk his life. Whoosh! Ling Xiao's speed was extremely fast, and he was flying towards White Dragon King. The blood-red palm print behind White Dragon King seemed to be about to be hit by the blood dragon swallowing the Sky Seal. White Dragon King's eyes instantly revealed a cold murderous intent. This was a heaven-sent opportunity. The blood-red light around him poured into his palm, and the blood dragon swallowing the Sky Seal emitted a terrifying fluctuation, wanting to kill Ling Xiao with one blow. Chapter 2670. Boom. Just as Ling Xiao's back was about to be hit by the blood dragon swallowing the sky print, his body twisted at an unbelievable angle and moved a few inches to the side. The blood dragon swallowing the sky print brushed past Ling Xiao's ribs. The spot where it came into contact with Ling Xiao's skin actually burst out a bright divine light. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a hint of mockery. He suddenly clamped his arm, and an unparalleled divine power burst out, clamping White Dragon King's arm directly. At the same time, Ling Xiao's elbow was as fast as lightning, aiming for White Dragon King's face. What? White Dragon King's face changed slightly. He did not expect Ling Xiao to dodge the blood dragon swallowing the Sky Prince attack, and even counterattack. The speed of the elbow strike was too fast. Even the White Dragon King could not react in time. He instantly felt a heavy blow on his face. His nose was shattered, and his face was covered in blood. A sharp pain came, and the White Dragon King almost shed tears. His face was his Achilles heel. Although his whole body was as hard as diamond, his face was still his weakest point. Now that he was hit by Ling Xiao's elbow, his eyes immediately turned black. Ling Tian, you're courting death. White Dragon King was furious. In an instant, blazing lightning rose around his body. The black lightning contained a terrifying destructive power, and enveloped Ling Xiao in an instant. Kill! Ling Xiao roared. Chaotic light rose around his body. In an instant, he threw a punch at White Dragon King. When this punch was thrown, It was as if all the energy in Ling Xiao's body was gushing out. It contained a force that could split the heavens and earth. It was like the invincible force of creation in the endless chaos. It wanted to obliterate all the worlds, shatter all the civilizations, and annihilate all the living beings. At the same time, there was an unparalleled divine power that could split the heavens and earth and create all living beings. Extreme killing and extreme vitality fused together to form this unimaginable fist technique. Epic Fist. Ling Xiao's punch made the four demon kings feel as if an epic was collapsing and all living beings were wailing in grief. They could not help but tremble. Especially White Dragon King, who was being targeted by Ling Xiao, was trembling violently. Facing Ling Xiao's epic fist, he felt the threat of death. Damn it! He wanted to kill me from the very beginning. The White Dragon King's expression was extremely ugly. His eyes were filled with incomparable madness. It turned out that Ling Xiao's intention to fight King Pine Cypress was fake. His real intention was to kill King Pine Cypress. Ling Xiao's punch seemed to have landed on White Dragon King's blood dragon swallowing the sky seal, but in reality, it was just a ploy to kill White Dragon King. The White Dragon King felt ridiculous. He had never put Ling Xiao in his eyes. He thought that Ling Xiao was just an ant. Now this ant wanted to kill him? However, the fist of the epic made the White Dragon King feel an invincible aura, as if death was his eternal destination. Rumble! White Dragon King's body surged with terrifying divine light, and the blood in his body seemed to be burning. He roared angrily, and his eyes were filled with crazy killing intent. He punched out, trying to block Ling Xiao's fist of the epic. You must block it. The White Dragon King roared in his heart. If he could not block this punch, he was afraid that he would really die. The fist of the epic pressed down, as if the universe was about to be destroyed at the same time. The demon's secret treasury trembled violently, and this incomparably sturdy palace seemed to be about to collapse because of Ling Xiao's punch. However, Ling Xiao did not notice that the huge black banner in his hand seemed to be emitting a mysterious light. It was like an incomparably human emotion, and it became incomparably agitated. Crack! The fist of the epic fell, and the White Dragon King's arms made an incomparably crisp sound. They suddenly broke apart, and his flesh was badly mangled. Then they turned into dust in an instant. Ling Xiao's punch did not lose its momentum. It directly landed on the White Dragon King's chest, blasting a huge bloody hole in his chest. An incomparably terrifying divine power surged into the White Dragon King's body, causing his body to tremble violently. Spiderweb-like cracks appeared on his body, as if he would collapse at any time. Puff! The White Dragon King was suddenly sent flying. Blood spurted out of his mouth as if it was free. His entire body was covered in blood. His flesh was badly mutilated, and he looked extremely miserable. Die! Ling Xiao's face was slightly pale, but his eyes were incomparably sharp. His entire body's battle intent rose to the extreme. The huge black banner in his hand was like a bolt of black lightning. In an instant, it pierced through the void and pierced towards the White Dragon King's forehead. Ling Xiao wanted to kill the White Dragon King with this blow. Save me! The White Dragon King roared. He looked at the King of Cypress Pine, the Peony King, and the Willow King with eyes full of pleading and despair. He was completely terrified. He could not believe that Ling Xiao could actually kill him. At this moment, the dignity of a demon king, the anger and hatred, the fortune and opportunity, all disappeared from his heart. He only wanted to survive. Get lost. The King of Cypress Pine, the Peony King, and the Willow King only hesitated for a moment. The King of Cypress Pine suddenly roared, and the three monster kings immediately charged towards Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's fist of the epic was too terrifying, and it was extremely fast. They did not have the slightest chance to stop it, and the White Dragon King was severely injured by Ling Xiao. However, the White Dragon King could not die. They had already seen how terrifying Ling Xiao was. If the White Dragon King really died in Ling Xiao's hands, then the three of them were afraid that they would be in danger. At this moment, regardless of whether it was for the death of a rabbit or for other reasons, they had to save the White Dragon King no matter what. Those who block me shall die. Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with cold killing intent. The blazing blood light around him rose, and the chaotic mist spread behind him, as if an ancient and mysterious hell had emerged. A mysterious figure swallowed the world and suppressed the 9 heavens and 10 lands. It contained invincible luck, and it suppressed the 3 of them from the sky. Celestial Emperor Prison Suppression Skill. Although Ling Xiao could not activate the principle of Great Path, he could still erupt with extremely terrifying combat strength, just by using the power of his physical body and primordial spirit to activate this Supreme Emperor technique. As soon as the Celestial Emperor Prison Suppression skill was used, the 3 of them changed their expressions. Their eyes became more and more shocked and dignified. Ling Xiao's endless means made them somewhat incredulous. How could a mere Supreme Saint have so many powerful secret skills and trump cards? Rumble. The 3 of them were blocked by Ling Xiao's Celestial Emperor Prison Suppression skill, and the giant black banner in his hand was like a black lightning, instantly piercing through the White Dragon King's forehead. How could I die? The White Dragon King's eyes widened. His eyes were filled with disbelief, unwillingness, despair, and regret. At this moment, he was already an arrow at the end of its flight. His physical body was severely injured by Ling Xiao's Fist of the Epoch, and he was in the Forbidden Zone. There was no way he could escape Ling Xiao's fatal blow. The giant black banner pierced through the White Dragon King's forehead and directly killed his primordial spirit. The White Dragon King roared unwillingly. The light in his eyes dimmed instantly and he died. Rumble. At this moment, King Pine Cypress also broke through the Celestial Emperor Prison Suppression skill's unparalleled palm print and blasted Ling Xiao away, but it was too late. The White Dragon King had already died in Ling Xiao's hands. The White Dragon King is dead. King Pine Cypress, Peony King, and Willow King's eyes were filled with disbelief. They were completely stunned. Please remember the domain name of this book. Mobile version of reading website. Chapter 2671. Who was White Dragon King? He was one of the overlords of the Endless Island. His strength was unfathomable. He was an old monster who had lived for tens of millions of years. His cultivation had reached the peak of the Saint Path, and he was a supreme expert in the Celestial Master Realm. In terms of strength alone, White Dragon King was second only to King Pine and Cypress, and was on par with Peony King and Willow King. Ling Xiao had actually killed White Dragon King under the siege of the 4 Demon Kings. King Pine and Cypress, Peony King, and Willow King did not expect this battle to be so tragic. White Dragon King is dead. Do you still want the demon banner? Ling Xiao's face was extremely pale, and bright red blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. However, his eyes were extremely sharp, and his body emitted a monstrous murderous aura as he stared at the 3 Demon Kings in front of him. The huge black banner in his hand was inserted between White Dragon King's eyebrows, piercing through his head. His corpse was directly lifted up, and it looked extremely miserable. Ling Tian, you are already an arrow at the end of its flight. I advise you not to resist stubbornly and hand over the core of the demon banner. King Pine and Cypress shouted. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Although White Dragon King's death shocked him, he could not give up the core of the demon banner because of this. Moreover, he could also see that Ling Xiao had just used the Fist of the Epoch to kill White Dragon King with the huge black banner. Then, he used the Celestial Emperor's Prison Suppression technique to withstand the terrifying attacks of the 3 Demon Kings. Ling Xiao's current state was already an arrow at the end of its flight. Peony King and Willow King did not speak, but their expressions were extremely solemn. White Dragon King's death made them unable to calm down for a long time. Although White Dragon King's combat strength was on par with theirs, their physical bodies were not as strong as White Dragon King's in this Forbidden Zone. Ling Xiao could even kill White Dragon King directly. Did this mean that he could also kill the 2 of them? Unconsciously, they felt a sense of fear in their hearts. You can try. Ling Xiao grinned. His white teeth were mixed with bright red blood, which made his smile look a little ferocious, and it made people's hair stand on end. Boom. At this moment, the huge black banner in Ling Xiao's hand suddenly buzzed and trembled. The White Dragon King, who had been pierced by the huge banner, instantly turned into a torrent, and was devoured by the huge black banner. The White Dragon King turned into ashes at a speed visible to the naked eye, completely disappearing in front of everyone. What? The White Dragon King, the Peony King, and the Willow King all trembled. Their eyes revealed a trace of disbelief. The huge change in the huge black banner caused everyone to become somewhat bewildered. Rumble. The black banner spewed out a blazing light. There was originally a dragon-shaped divine beast imprint on it. At this moment, endless primal chaos chi surged. Vast energy soared, and the dragon-shaped divine beast imprint turned into a primal chaos ancestor dragon that was billions of miles long. It was as if he had awakened from the endless chaos. His body was surrounded by 9-colored divine light, and he exuded a vast dragon's might. An earth-shattering dragon's roar erupted from his mouth. Roar. The void trembled, and a mysterious fluctuation spread out in all directions. The dragon's roar made billions of demonic beasts submit. It was like the king of all demonic beasts, exuding an invincible aura of supremacy. The huge black banner shone brightly, and in an instant its appearance changed. It turned into a huge banner that was 90 feet tall, surrounded by primal chaos chi. It shone with dazzling multicolored light, and thousands of auspicious lights, illuminating the entire palace as if it was daytime. At this moment, the other 9,999 huge banners trembled at the same time, as if they had met their king. They exuded a strange fluctuation. Ling Xiao held the huge black banner in his hand, and he felt a blood connection. His palm seemed to have been pierced by the huge banner, and the primal chaos ancestor dragon's bloodline in his body surged into the huge banner. It made the primal chaos ancestor dragon clearer, and it produced a strange resonance with him. Roar. Another dragon's roar came from the huge black banner. Swoosh. 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 The 999 huge banners in the palace rose from the ground in an instant, turning into streams of light and flying towards the huge black banner in Ling Xiao's hand. Oh no! King Pine Cypress's expression changed, and his eyes became extremely gloomy in an instant. He revealed a monstrous anger, and he directly soared into the sky, trying to snatch the huge black banner in Ling Xiao's hand. Although he did not know what had happened, he vaguely felt that perhaps Ling Xiao had refined the core of the 10,000 demon banner. Otherwise, the tens of thousands of huge banners in the palace would not have such a strange reaction. Hand over the 10,000 demon banner. King Peony and King Willow also shouted. Their eyes were extremely sharp, and they leaped towards Ling Xiao. Rumble. Ling Xiao held the huge black banner in his hand, and the divine light around him was dazzling. Purple chi rose, and he felt that his body was full of explosive power. His aura instantly recovered to its peak. Holding the 10,000 demon banner, Ling Xiao felt as if he had become the emperor of hundreds of millions of demonic beasts, and he could casually kill any demonic beasts who dared to challenge his authority. King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow were no threat to him. So, I have to sacrifice a powerful demon king to awaken the power of the 10,000 demon banner? Ling Xiao thought to himself. After the 10,000 demon banner had swallowed the White Dragon King's blood essence and primordial spirit, Ling Xiao felt that the obscure and obstructive power had disappeared. His primordial spirit controlled the sky-devouring fire, and it had almost naturally refined the core of the 10,000 demon banner. In particular, the ancestral dragon bloodline in Ling Xiao's body seemed to have formed a strange resonance with the chaotic ancestral dragon on the 10,000 demon banner, allowing him to control the huge black banner in an instant. Haha. King Pine Cypress, King Peony, King Willow, you're too late. Ling Xiao laughed loudly. The huge black banner in his hand shook, and in an instant, it was like a huge mountain, pressing down on King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow. Roar. The chaotic ancestral dragon on the huge banner let out an earth-shattering dragon roar, as if it had rushed out of the chaos, exuding a terrifying pressure. What? King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow all felt their bodies tremble. There seemed to be an irresistible force pressing down on them from the huge black banner. Puff. 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 The three demon kings were swept by the huge black banner, as if they had been struck by lightning. Their bodies trembled violently, and they spat out mouthfuls of blood. Their auras became weak, and they were directly sent flying. The 9,999 giant banners in the palace were like streams of light, returning to the sea and directly merging into the giant black banner in Ling Xiao's hand. Boom. The huge black banner suddenly emitted millions of rays of light, and a vast and mighty emperor's aura gushed out from it. Bookmark for easy reading. Chapter 2672. The vast emperor's aura contained unparalleled origin energy, causing the surrounding void to tremble violently. Even the 10,000 demons' secret trove began to emit a bright light, as if a strange power had awakened. After the 9,999 banners merged, the black banners instantly bloomed with 9-colored light, filled with chaotic light and shrouded in powerful emperor's aura. A blazing light majestically shot into the sky. Ling Xiao, who was holding the black banner, began to emit an explosive aura, as if he had formed a mysterious resonance with the black banner. Similarly, an emperor's aura emanated from his body. So this is the real 10,000 demons banner? A trace of understanding emerged in Ling Xiao's heart. His gaze also became sharp and resplendent. The huge black banner was the core of the 10,000 demon banner, and the 9,999 huge banners were all transformed from the 10,000 demon banner itself. At that moment, they had fused with the core of the 10,000 demon banner, and the huge black banner had become the true 10,000 demon banner. Originally, it was extremely difficult for Ling Xiao to refine the 10,000 demons banner. It could even be said that it was impossible. Fortunately, he had unleashed a peerless attack and killed the White Dragon King. By chance, the core of the 10,000 demons banner had devoured the White Dragon King's flesh and blood essence, awakening the Emperor's aura. Only then could it merge with the 10,000 demons banner. Even Ling Xiao had not expected this. It had to be said that Ling Xiao was indeed the chosen one. He was indeed blessed. With the 10,000 demons banner in his hand, Ling Xiao's aura became extremely powerful, exuding an invincible aura. Above the 10,000 demons banner, an endless chaotic mist lingered, and the divine light was dazzling. It was as if tens of thousands of divine beasts were roaring in the sky. Archaic mutants, powerful divine beasts, and primordial ferocious beasts seemed to have come alive from the depths of time and space. They circled around Ling Xiao, making him look like the Lord of Demons. No! King Pine Cypress suddenly roared. His voice was filled with unwillingness, anger, and despair. He had planned for thousands of years, consumed countless natural treasures, and paid a great price, also that he could one day wield the 10,000 demons banner. However, what he did not expect was that in the end, Ling Xiao had actually refined the 10,000 demon banner. He had no way to stop it. The 10,000 demon banner. He actually refined the 10,000 demon banner. Peony King and Willow King's eyes were filled with incomparable shock. They looked at Ling Xiao with incomparably solemn gazes. They could faintly feel that the world was about to change. Although Ling Xiao seemed to only have the cultivation of great sage realm, his strength was unfathomable and unparalleled. Even White Dragon King died in his hands. Now that Ling Xiao wielded the 10,000 demon banner, the aura that radiated from him made them tremble. Unknowingly, a ripple of fear appeared in the depths of their souls. How were they supposed to fight Ling Xiao? Let's go. Peony King looked deeply at Ling Xiao, then made a prompt decision to speak to Willow King. Ling Xiao was already extremely strong. Now that he was in control of the myriad demon banner, he was like a tiger that had grown wings. They no longer had any thoughts of competing with Ling Xiao for the myriad demon banner. At this moment, they only wanted to leave this place as soon as possible. They could sense an extremely dangerous aura from the 10,000 demon banner. Ling Tian, just you wait. King Pine Cypress looked at Ling Xiao with incomparable anger. Seeing that Peony King and Willow King were about to leave, he also had the intention to retreat in his heart. Somewhat unwillingly, he left behind a ruthless sentence. His heart was bleeding. The 10,000 demon banner was already his, but now it was snatched away by Ling Xiao. To him, this was simply a great humiliation. Want to leave? Did I say that you can leave? Ling Xiao sneered coldly. Boom. He waved the 10,000 demon banner in his hand. In an instant, the void trembled, and the 10,000 demons' secret trove trembled violently. A vast emperor's aura swept across the sky and directly suppressed King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow. The door of the 10,000 demon treasure slammed shut, trapping the three monster kings inside. Ling Tian, how dare you? King Pine Cypress roared furiously. Ling Tian, let us go. We promise that we will never be your enemy again. Peony King and Willow King's faces changed as they hurriedly shouted at Ling Xiao. Rumble. Ling Xiao did not pay any attention to them. The 10,000 demon banner pressed down mightily, containing an emperor's aura that could destroy the world. The three monster kings trembled violently, as if a sense of fear was born from the depths of their souls. They did not dare to have the slightest intention of resisting. The three monster kings felt an unparalleled force pressing down on them. Their bodies trembled violently, and their legs gave way as they knelt in front of Ling Xiao. Their eyes were filled with humiliation. However, the 10,000 demon banner gave them a terrifying feeling. It was as if the 10,000 demon banner could control their life and death at will. It contained a power that made them extremely fearful. It was extremely difficult for them to even stand up. The three monster kings knelt in front of Ling Xiao. Although their eyes were about to spew fire, there was nothing they could do. It seems that the 10,000 demon banner is indeed a treasure that suppresses the fate of the demon realm. It really contains the life imprints of billions of demon clan members. No wonder there is a saying that the owner of the 10,000 demon banner is the Lord of Demons. Ling Xiao smiled faintly as he looked down at the three monster kings in front of him. He did not expect that he would be able to suppress the three monster kings so easily. However, the three monster kings' reactions made him realize that the 10,000 demon banner contained the life imprints of billions of demon clan members. The three monster kings were no exception. Therefore, when they faced the 10,000 demon banner, they were naturally afraid and suppressed by the banner. In addition to the restrictive domain, the 10,000 demon banner's extreme emperor's aura was extremely terrifying. Although they had the strength and cultivation of a monster king, there was nothing they could do. Ling Tian, what are you trying to do? King Pine and Cypress roared in grief and indignation. His face was full of fear. Ling Tian, we have offended you. How can you let us go? King Peony and King Willow laughed bitterly. Now they had no choice but to lower their heads. Facing Ling Xiao, who held the 10,000 demon banner, even the three monster kings had no choice but to lower their proud heads. I hold the 10,000 demon banner, and am the Lord of Demons. You have two choices now. The first is to hand over your primordial spirit imprints and acknowledge me as your master. The second is to die. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. There was a trace of sharp light in his eyes as he stared at the three monster kings in front of him. Hand over my primordial spirit imprints? Impossible. Ling Tian, the winner takes all. I have nothing to say. Kill me. King Pine and Cypress sneered, revealing a look as if he was facing death with equanimity. Ling Tian, you don't have to humiliate us. We have our own dignity. Monster kings cannot be humiliated. King Peony said angrily. So what if we die? Anyway, we have lived for so long. It's enough. King Willow also sneered. It seems that all of you have chosen death? What a pity. I didn't expect that the three monster kings would be completely annihilated today. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, his expression extremely calm. King Pine and Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow's reactions were within Ling Xiao's expectations. After all, these three heavenly venerables were the rulers of the Endless Island. They had their own dignity and bearing. It would not be so easy to make them submit to Ling Xiao. Chapter 2673. Taking a day off for Eternal Emperor. Please wait for a moment. After the content is updated, please refresh the page to get the latest update. Chapter 2674. Previously, Ling Xiao held on to the slightest hope that the four monster kings would submit to him if he took control of the 10,000 demons banner. However, it seemed that King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow all had their dignity as monster kings. They would rather die than submit to Ling Xiao. Rumble. Blazing divine light rose from Ling Xiao's body, and the 10,000 demons banner in his hand was instantly filled with chaotic mist. It turned into a giant banner that suppressed the three monster kings. The eyes of the three monster kings were filled with despair. The extreme emperor aura that erupted from the 10,000 demons banner caused the three monster kings to tremble. They felt a deep sense of powerlessness. The 10,000 Demons banner was like a terrifying chaotic vortex that directly swallowed the three monster kings. Crack! In an instant the void trembled, and the lightning was dazzling. The auras of the three monster kings seemed to have been completely erased, and they disappeared in front of Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of surprise. He realized that the three monster kings did not die immediately after being swallowed by the 10,000 Demons banner. Instead, they were affected by the extreme emperor aura of the 10,000 Demons banner, and involuntarily revealed their primordial spirit brands and integrated them into the 10,000 Demons banner. Boom, boom, boom. The king of pine and cypress turned into a huge pine tree. The king of peony turned into a beautiful peony flower, and the willow king turned into an ancient willow tree. They revealed their true forms in an instant, and their auras gradually merged with the 10,000 demon banner. The primordial spirit brands of the three monster kings integrated into the 10,000 demons banner? It seems that they can't die even if they want to. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a strange look. He originally wanted to kill the three monster kings with the myriad demon banner, but he did not expect that after the three monster kings entered the myriad demon banner, their primordial spirit imprints merged with the myriad demon banner. The three monster kings' auras also came from the same source as the myriad demon banner. Under Ling Xiao's guidance, the life and death of the three monster kings were completely in his hands. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Above the 10,000 demons banner, a bright light flashed. In an instant, the figures of the three demon kings flew out. They looked at Ling Xiao with eyes full of fanaticism and worship. King Pine Cypress greets the demon lord. The Peony King greets the demon lord. Willow King greets the demon lord. The three demon kings knelt respectfully in front of Ling Xiao, their eyes filled with fervor. What a terrifying myriad demon banner! Ling Xiao's heart trembled slightly. His eyes were filled with horror. The three demon kings had been completely transformed by the myriad demon banner just like that, becoming Ling Xiao's most loyal fanatics. Ling Xiao could clearly sense that there were no changes to their cultivation, souls or memories. The only thing that had changed was their loyalty to Ling Xiao. Through the 10,000 demon banner, Ling Xiao controlled the three demon monarchs' essence soul imprints. He could even sense their thoughts. There was no hatred. There was no greed. There was only fanatical worship for Ling Xiao. It was no wonder that the owner of the myriad demon banner was the lord of myriad demons, the supreme ruler of the demon realm. This function of the myriad demon banner was truly heaven-defying. Pine Cypress King, you weren't willing to submit to me just now. Why are you agreeing now? Ling Xiao's expression was calm as he said lightly to Pine Cypress King, Lord Demon Lord, you are the heaven's chosen one, the true Lord of Heaven's mandate. Just now, I had eyes but failed to see an offended master. If you want to punish me, I will not complain. Pine Cypress King said respectfully, his eyes filled with deep awe. Ling Xiao could feel that if he ordered Pine Cypress King to die, Pine Cypress King would not hesitate at all. This was the terror of the myriad demon banner. Very well. Pine Cypress King, Peony King, Willow King, listen up. I order you to subdue everyone in the myriad demon realm, and make them submit to me. Those who don't submit, kill without mercy. Ling Xiao said with murderous intent. Yes, sir. Pine Cypress King, Peony King, and Willow King all said respectfully at the same time. Demon Lord, this myriad demon ancient tree has lived for hundreds of millions of years. It is because of the seal of the four of us that it can't transform. Demon Lord, you can refine the essence soul crystal core of the myriad demon ancient tree, and completely subdue it. At that time, you will have another peerless demon king under your command. Pine Cypress King said respectfully. The essence soul crystal core of the myriad demon ancient tree? Where is it? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. Pine Cypress King's words made him feel a little excited. This 10,000 Fei ancient tree had lived for hundreds of millions of years. If it could really transform successfully, it would at least be a peerless expert in the Saint King realm. Even the aura of an imperial emperor expert was not as powerful as that of the 10,000 Fei ancient tree. The potential of the myriad demon ancient tree was limitless, far surpassing Pine Cypress King, Peony King, and Willow King. The essence soul crystal core of the myriad demon ancient tree is hidden in the crown of the tree. However, although I have found its whereabouts, I have no way to obtain it. Demon Lord, with the myriad demon banner in your hand, you can definitely refine the essence soul crystal core of the myriad demon ancient tree. Pine Cypress King said respectfully. Very well. Take me to the essence soul crystal core of the myriad demon ancient tree. Ling Xiao said indifferently. Boom. Ling Xiao waved the myriad demon banner in his hand. In an instant, chaotic light filled the air and enveloped the entire myriad demon secret trove. The huge palace and the Supreme Emperor array turned into a stream of light and merged into the myriad demon banner. Ling Xiao only knew that everything in the myriad demon secret trove was a part of the myriad demon banner after refining the myriad demon banner. Especially the Supreme Emperor array. If activated by the myriad demon banner, it could kill a heavenly venerable expert, and even trap an imperial emperor for a period of time. The myriad demon secret trove flew into the myriad demon banner. Ling Xiao and the 3 demon kings also appeared on the myriad demon ancient tree. Bai Feng, Demon Ape King, Ba Ji King and the others appeared in front of Ling Xiao and the other 3 demon kings. Ling Tian, where is my father? Bai Feng and the others were shocked by the disappearance of the myriad demon secret trove. Before they could react, Ling Xiao appeared in front of them. Bai Feng's eyes were filled with shock as he stared at Ling Xiao and asked, "You mean the White Dragon King? Of course, he's dead by my hands." Ling Xiao said indifferently. "Impossible. My father's combat strength is extraordinary and invincible. Do you think you can kill my father? Ling Tian, if you know what's good for you, kneel down and accept your death. Otherwise, I'll make you beg for death." Bai Feng's face was ferocious as he spoke. "How dare you? How dare you be so rude to the demon lord?" King Songbai's eyes flashed and he suddenly roared. Boom. It was as if there was a vast sound wave that contained the power of heaven and earth pressing down on Crown Prince Bai Feng. The aura was extremely sharp. Bai Feng's face changed as he felt an invincible force pressing down on him, causing his primordial spirit to tremble violently. He spat out a mouthful of blood and was directly sent flying. Chapter 2675. What? Everyone was stunned, especially Crown Prince Bai Feng. His eyes were filled with disbelief and fear. He had never imagined that King Pine Cypress would actually attack him, and even repeatedly address Ling Xiao as Lord Demon. Demon Lord, the Lord of all demons? As the son of White Dragon King, Crown Prince Bai Feng naturally knew what this title meant. It meant that Ling Xiao had obtained the inheritance of the demon treasure. Even King Pine Cypress had submitted to Ling Xiao. King Eight Extremities, King Devil Ape, King Whitebone, and the others all looked extremely solemn. On the other hand, Kue was slightly taken aback. Then he was overjoyed. His master was really powerful. Even the Pine and Cypress King was subdued by him. Demon Lord has obtained the inheritance of the demon treasure. He is the Lord of all demons. All demons must submit to Demon Lord. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy. King Pine Cypress stared at Crown Prince Bai Feng and the others and said with murderous intent, "Who dares to disrespect Demon Lord?" King Peony said coldly, "White Dragon King offended Demon Lord and was killed by Demon Lord himself. Why don't you come and pay your respects to Demon Lord?" King Willow said solemnly. His eyes were filled with fanatical worship. White Dragon King is really dead. Everyone's expression changed, especially Crown Prince Bai Feng. His body trembled violently, and his eyes were filled with fear. White Dragon King was so powerful and unfathomable. How could he die in Ling Xiao's hands? Crown Prince Bai Feng didn't believe Ling Xiao's words before. However, now that King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow had submitted to Ling Xiao and called him the Lord of all demons, they were absolutely certain that White Dragon King had died in Ling Xi's hands. Crown Prince Bai Feng's face was extremely pale. In an instant, light flashed around him, and he was about to use a teleportation technique to leave this place. He was completely afraid of Ling Xiao. At this moment, he didn't care about revenge. He just wanted to leave this place as soon as possible. Boom. However, the space around Crown Prince Bai Feng seemed to distort instantly. Streams of mysterious air currents flowed like a spatial cage, trapping Crown Prince by foam within. There was no way for him to escape. Eight Extremities King, you dare betray me? Crown Prince by foam roared, his eyes filled with disbelief. It was the Eight Extremities King who had used his spatial powers to imprison Crown Prince by foam. He didn't even need Ling Xiao or the three Fey monarchs to do anything. After Baji King trapped by foam, he looked calm and indifferent. He didn't even look at Prince by foam. Instead, he bowed respectfully to Ling Xiao. Greetings, Demon Lord. The Eight Pole King's voice was solemn and fanatical. The expressions of the demonic Ape King, Whitebone King, and Black Tiger King changed. When they saw Ling Xiao looking at them, they trembled and knelt down respectfully as well. Greetings, Demon Lord. Congratulations, Demon Lord. May you live a long and boundless life. May you unite the demon world and shock the heavens. The Kuei Cow also bowed shamelessly. There was a flattering smile on his face. His mouth was almost crooked from smiling. In his opinion, he was the first to submit to Ling Xiao. He was even earlier than the three Fey monarchs. He was the Demon Lord's confidant. However, he was also secretly vigilant. The three Fey monarchs were very powerful. Moreover, they seemed to be extremely fanatical about his master. He felt threatened. It seemed like he had to work harder for his master in the future to maintain his position. Those who are willing to submit to me, don't resist. Those who are unwilling to submit, I won't stop you. You may leave now. Ling Xiao said indifferently. Seeing that no one was leaving, Ling Xiao waved the 10,000 demon banner in his hand. Instantly, chaotic light appeared, lightning blazed, and the great Dao Law rose and enveloped everyone. The reason why the 10,000 demon banner was known as the treasure of fortune of the demon realm was because it contained the life imprints of billions of demon clan members. Therefore, the person who wielded the 10,000 demon banner was the master of the demon realm. No expert of the demon clan could resist the master of the 10,000 demon banner. Although the Baji King, the Devil Ape King, and the others had powerful bloodlines, they were still experts of the demon race. When they were swept by the 10,000 demon banner, their life imprints in the 10,000 demon banner were activated. Almost instantly, their primordial spirit imprints were left in the 10,000 demon banner. From then on, their lives were in Ling Xiao's hands. Since the Crown Prince by Feng wanted to resist the 10,000 demon banner, Ling Xiao did not show any mercy and killed him directly. The Crown Prince by Feng's flesh and primordial spirit became the best nourishment for the 10,000 demon banner. Soon, the Baji King, the Devil Ape King, and the others looked at Ling Xiao with fanatical admiration. Rumble. At this moment, the 10,000 demon ancient tree suddenly began to tremble violently. Vast origin energy surged and swept in all directions like a storm. Oh no! Demon Lord, the White Dragon King has been killed by you. The seal of the 10,000 demon ancient tree has been damaged. The 10,000 demon ancient tree wants to transform. King Pine Cypress's expression changed as he hurriedly said to Ling Xiao. Quickly bring me to the primordial spirit crystal core of the 10,000 demon ancient tree. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he said slowly. Yes. Demon Lord, please come with me. King Pine Cypress bowed and said. Then he turned into a stream of light and flew toward the crown of the 10,000 demon ancient tree. Whoosh! Whoosh! Ling Xiao and King Pine Cypress were extremely fast. Soon, they arrived at the depths of the crown of the 10,000 demon ancient tree. Endless blazing light flickered and vast origin energy surged like the sea. It seemed to have formed an origin energy sea above the crown of the 10,000 demon ancient tree. In the center of the origin energy sea, there was a dazzling crystal. It was flowing with colorful light and crystal clear. At this moment, it was slowly transforming into a human form. Previously, with the seal of the 4 demon monarchs, the 10,000 demonic ancient tree could not transform at all. However, after the White Dragon King was killed by Ling Xiao, there was a flaw in the seal. The 10,000 demonic ancient tree used this opportunity to transform. Rumble. As if sensing the approach of Ling Xiao and King Pine Cypress, the origin energy sea in front of them began to riot. Blazing light intertwined and turned into mysterious runes. They intertwined into a terrifying killing force that surged toward Ling Xiao and King Pine Cypress. Demon Lord, that crystal is the primordial spirit crystal core of the 10,000 demon ancient tree. The transformation of the 10,000 demon ancient tree cannot be stopped. However, as long as you leave a mark on the primordial spirit crystal core, and refine it with the 10,000 demon banner, the 10,000 demon ancient tree will submit to you. King Pine Cypress said quickly. Okay. Ling Xiao's eyes were extremely sharp. In an instant, blazing purple gas surged around his body. He rushed toward the primordial spirit crystal core in the origin energy sea like a lightning bolt. Rumble. The terrifying attacks from all directions landed on Ling Xiao's body, drowning him in the blink of an eye. Mobile version reading website, M. Chapter 2676. Rumble. The attack from the origin source sea was comparable to the power of a heavenly master. It was so terrifying that it seemed to be able to turn everything into dust. After Ling Xiao was submerged, his body instantly emitted a dazzling glow. Purple gas rose and spread across 30,000 miles, causing the surrounding void to vibrate violently. The attacks from the origin source sea were instantly shattered. Ling Xiao was like a bolt of lightning. He was extremely fast and arrived in front of the crystal in an instant. The primordial spirit crystal core of the ancient tree of 10,000 Fei looked dazzling and translucent. It was currently transforming into a human form. Ling Xiao could even see mysterious meridians forming within the crystal. Blood vessels, bones, meridians, and organs were gradually forming. This was the transformation process of the demonic ancient tree. Once this process was completed, no one would be able to stop the transformation of the demonic ancient tree. The reason why the 4 monster kings were able to stop the demonic ancient tree from transforming was that they had sealed the primordial spirit crystal core of the demonic ancient tree, not giving it a chance to transform. Could it be that the 10,000 demon banner is prepared for the demonic ancient tree? Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a strange look. He felt as if he had stolen the 10,000 demon banner of the demonic ancient tree. Ling Xiao's arrival seemed to have made the primordial spirit crystal core of the demonic ancient tree feel greatly threatened. In an instant, a fierce battle broke out. Terrifying divine order chains intertwined and shrouded Ling Xiao. Boom. The 10,000 demon banner emitted a dazzling glow. It was surrounded by chaotic gas and instantly appeared in Ling Xiao's palm. A vast emperor's aura gushed out, and the divine chains of order shattered instantly, unable to cause any harm to Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao waved the 10,000 demon banner in his hand. Instantly, chaotic light shrouded the primordial spirit crystal core of the demonic ancient tree. It seemed as if yin and yang qi were emitted. Although the crystal in front of him had not completely transformed into a human, it seemed to have gained some intelligence. It was actually emitting waves of incomparable anger. Its entire body trembled violently as it tried to break free from the range of the 10,000 demon banner. However, it was meaningless. Even if the demonic ancient tree had transformed, it would not be able to escape from the 10,000 demon banner. Crack! Dazzling lightning bolts seemed to rise, and blazing divine light gushed out from the primordial spirit crystal core. The 10,000 demon banner shone brightly, and a giant tree that connected the sky and the earth vaguely appeared. Countless ancient divine beasts were resting on it, and it contained an incomparably majestic life force. That was the mark of life of the 10,000 Fei ancient tree. Even the 10,000 Fei ancient tree could not escape the control of the 10,000 Fei banner. In the end, it left its primordial spirit imprint on the 10,000 Fei banner. Very soon, the primordial spirit crystal core of the ancient tree of demons calmed down, and emitted a very intimate ripple, as if it was connected by blood. It was extremely attached to Ling Xiao. I wonder who refined this myriad demon banner. In the demon realm, I'm afraid there isn't a single supreme emperor weapon that is comparable to the myriad demon banner. Ling Xiao exclaimed in admiration, his eyes filled with disbelief. The 10,000 demon banner had the mark of life of billions of living beings in the demon realm. The living beings in the demon realm had no way of escaping from the 10,000 demon banner's control. Even the 10,000 Fei ancient tree was not surprised. Sensing the mark of the 10,000 Fei ancient tree's primordial spirit in the 10,000 demon banner, Ling Xiao put away the 10,000 demon banner and quietly looked at the primordial spirit crystal core in front of him. Rumble. The speed of the transformation of the 10,000 Fey ancient tree's primordial spirit crystal core increased by 10 times, and it began to transform into the shape of a human at a speed visible to the naked eye. The entire 10,000 Fey ancient tree was trembling violently. In an instant, endless blazing light gushed out, and all of it merged with the primordial spirit crystal core in front of him. In front of Ling Xiao, chaotic light rose, and the origin source sea spread out. The 9-colored divine light shrouded the area, and the primordial spirit crystal core, and the 10,000 Fey ancient tree completely merged together. The million-mile-tall 10,000 Fey ancient tree completely disappeared, leaving only a figure in front of Ling Xiao. In the chaotic mist, the figure slowly walked toward Ling Xiao. It was a peerlessly beautiful woman wearing a 9-colored feather robe. She looked extremely perfect, as though she had been created and sculpted by heaven and earth. There was not a single flaw on her face. She had a small cherry mouth, a jade-like nose, and big watery eyes that seemed to be filled with all kinds of charm. They also seemed to be able to penetrate the endless space and time, deep and mysterious. Her figure was extremely hot, and her skin was as white as jade. Under her slender thighs was a pair of delicate and perfect feet that were like pearls. They were hidden under a light veil, mysterious and unfathomable. "Greetings, Demon Lord." The woman bowed to Ling Xiao, and the corners of her mouth curled up slightly, revealing a beautiful smile. "You are the 10,000 Fey ancient tree?" Ling Xiao looked at the woman in front of him, and for a moment he could not recover his senses. After all, the 10,000 Fey ancient tree had lived for hundreds of millions of years. Ling Xiao thought that the 10,000 Fey ancient tree would transform into an old man with white hair and beard. He did not expect it to be such a young and beautiful woman. "That's right. Demon Lord, I am the 10,000 Fey ancient tree, but I have my own name. You can call me Anaishang," the woman said with a smile. "Anaishang? Good name." Ling Xiao nodded and said, "Demon Lord, I originally thought that Anaishang would be the master of all demons and wield the 10,000 demon banner. I did not expect the 10,000 demon banner to fall into your hands. Even the White Dragon King died in your hands, and the 3 demon kings all submitted to you. You are indeed destined." Anaishang said with a smile. "You know all of this?" Ling Xiao's expression was a little strange. Could it be that it was as he had guessed? The 10,000 demon banner was prepared for the 10,000 Fey ancient tree? Moreover, Anaishang was very clear that the White Dragon King had died in Ling Xiao's hands. It seemed that although she had just transformed, she was actually very clear about what had happened in the outside world. "That's right. Demon Lord, although Anaishang has just transformed, I am very clear about what has happened in the 1,000 Demon City all these years. After all, if not for the 4 demon kings, I might have transformed long ago. I can sense the providence of the heavenly Tao from you. You should be the chosen one of this epoch, right?" Anaishang nodded and looked at Ling Xiao curiously at the same time. "That's right. I am Ling Xiao, the chosen one of this era." Ling Xiao nodded and said. His heart skipped a beat. Although Anaishang was very close to him, she did not worship him fervently like the 3 demon kings. Instead, she was like a close friend, and he had a good impression of her. "Demon Lord, you stole my 10,000 demon banner, and I should kill you. However, you left my primordial spirit imprint on the 10,000 demon banner. Therefore, to me, you are like a father and mother. I can't hurt you, so you don't have to worry." Anaishang seemed to have seen through Ling Xiao's thoughts and said with a smile. Chapter 2677. Anaishang's cultivation was also at the Saint King realm. She should have reached the heavenly venerate realm, but her aura was even more terrifying than King Pine and Cypress. Ling Xiao felt that it would not be easy for King Pine and Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow to break through to the Emperor realm. However, Anaishang might be able to take that step very soon. After all, Anaishang's original form was the 10,000 Fey ancient tree. It was extremely difficult for an innate spirit to transform. Once she transformed, coupled with her terrifying talent, her cultivation would definitely improve by leaps and bounds. "Let's go." Ling Xiao left with Anaishang. The 10,000 Fei ancient tree was 1,000,000 feet tall. It stood in the middle of this world like a divine mountain. The commotion caused by the 10,000 Fei ancient tree's transformation was extremely terrifying. It instantly alarmed all the demon race experts. Regardless of whether it was the demon kings or demon saints, they were all shocked as they stared at the center of the world. The chaotic fog lingered there, and the divine light was dazzling. They did not know what had happened. However, the 10,000 Fei ancient tree had indeed disappeared. The old goat and Taoist Wuliang had gathered hundreds of demon kings and thousands of demon saints under their command. It could be said that they had swept through the world and snatched a large number of treasures. Just as the old goat and Taoist Wuliang were feeling smug, the 10,000 Fei ancient tree had disappeared. Old Taoist, why do I feel that the disappearance of the 10,000 Fei ancient tree has something to do with Ling Xiao? The old goat's eyes revealed a trace of suspicion. It's possible. Taoist Wuliang thought for a while and nodded in agreement. Both of them felt that only Ling Xiao could cause such a huge commotion. We have a great harvest this time. Hee. I didn't expect to find another type of extreme Dao metal here. Once we leave this place, we'll be able to refine our life treasure. When we become emperors, it'll be the strongest extreme Dao emperor weapon. The old goat's eyes were filled with excitement. That's right. Our harvest is almost there. Let's go over there and take a look. Ling Xiao might be there. Taoist Wuliang said slowly as he looked at the place where the 10,000 Fei ancient tree had disappeared. All right. The old goat nodded. Then, together with Taoist Wuliang, they led a group of demon kings and demon saints towards the central region. At the same time, 3 vast and powerful voices resounded in this world. I am King Pine and Cypress, the demon king under the Lord of Infinite Demons. Everyone, come and pay your respects to the Lord of Infinite Demons. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy. I am the Peony King, the demon king under the Lord of Infinite Demons. Everyone, come and pay your respects to the Lord of Infinite Demons. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy. I am Willow King, the demon king under the Lord of Infinite Demons. Everyone, come and pay your respects to the Lord of Infinite Demons. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy. The 3 voices were like the might of the heavens as they rumbled through the void, causing everyone to tremble. Their eyes were filled with disbelief and shock. Who is the Lord of Infinite Demons? He actually made King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow submit to him? Someone said with a trembling voice. Lord Demon Lord, do you want to unify the Endless Islands? This is too terrifying. What should we do? What else can we do? Even Pine and Cypress King, Peony King, and Willow King have submitted. If we don't submit, I'm afraid we'll die instantly. Let's go and pay our respects to the Demon Lord. I really want to see who this Demon Lord is. Many Demon Clan experts discussed animatedly. Their eyes were filled with uncertainty, but they still leaped up and flew toward the central area where the ancient tree of infinite demons was. What? Don't tell me the king of demons is Ling Xiao? Taoist Wuliang and the old goat also heard about the 3 figures. They looked at each other, and their eyes revealed an extremely strange expression. I think it's very possible. Let's go and take a look. Ling Xiao must have obtained some great opportunity to make the 3 demon kings submit to him. The old goat said excitedly. His eyes were filled with curiosity. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Everyone who heard the voices of the 3 demon kings leaped up and flew toward the central area. Ling Xiao stood in the air in the central area. His clothes were whiter than snow, and his temperament was ethereal. He held the black infinite demon banner in his hand. Purple gas lingered around him, and chaotic light filled the air. He was like an immortal emperor, extremely mysterious. Behind him stood Anai Shang, King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow. The eyes of the 3 demon kings were filled with fanatical worship and respect. Anai Shang also made the 3 of them tremble. Her aura was too terrifying, and even King Pine Cypress felt a great threat. Soon many demon kings and demon overlords arrived. It's him? The Ling Tian who defeated the 8-pole king? He can't be the Lord of Infinite Demons, right? When someone saw Ling Xiao, his heart couldn't help but tremble as he spoke in disbelief. Everyone was extremely shocked. Regardless of whether they knew Ling Xiao or not, they could see that Ling Xiao's cultivation was only at the Great Saint realm. However, the 3 demon kings were extremely respectful to him. Although they did not dare to believe it, they knew that Ling Xiao was most likely the demon lord. Ling Xiao, you actually became the lord of infinite demons? The old goat and Taoist Wuliang also flew over in surprise and asked Ling Xiao curiously, "Do you recognize this item?" Ling Xiao said with a smile, "This is the legendary 10,000 Demons banner." The old goat saw the huge black banner in Ling Xiao's hand, and was a little confused at first. However, he suddenly thought of something and could not help but tremble. 10,000 Demons banner? The 10,000 Demons banner, that is said to be the treasure of fate in the demon realm, the strongest supreme emperor weapon? Taoist Wuliang sucked in a breath of cold air. That's right. It's the treasure of fate, the 10,000 Demons banner. Now that the 10,000 Demons banner has recognized me as its master, I'm the Lord of Infinite Demons. I've already killed the White Dragon King, and the 3 Demon Kings have submitted to me. She's Enaishang, the 10,000 Demons Ancient Tree's transformation. Ling Xiao smiled and told the old goat and Taoist Wuliang what had happened through telepathy. The old goat and Taoist Wuliang were stunned. The 2 of them had gathered hundreds of demon kings and thousands of demon sages. They thought that they had obtained countless treasures this time, and it was already a great harvest. However, they did not expect Ling Xiao to be so lucky as to obtain the 10,000 Demons banner. Does this mean that you can control all the demon clan experts on the Endless Island with the 10,000 Demons banner? The old goat suddenly said excitedly. This way, Ling Xiao would have a group of supreme experts under his command. Although the Endless Island was a forgotten world, there were hundreds of Saint King Realm experts and tens of thousands of Saint Realm experts. If Ling Xiao had control of this powerful force, it would be a piece of cake for him to kill his way back to the divine world. That's right. With them, I'll be able to kill my way back to the divine world very soon. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and there was a bright gleam in his eyes. Please remember the domain name of this book. Third Sect Leader's mobile reading website. Chapter 2678. White Dragon King had died in Ling Xiao's hands, but Myriad Demon's ancient tree had transformed into Enaishang, and Ling Xiao still had 4 Monster King experts under him. In addition, Ling Xiao had the Myriad Demons banner and no one dared to resist. They left their primordial spirit imprints in the Myriad Demons banner, and paid their respects to the Lord of Demons. Ling Xiao brought everyone out of Myriad Demons realm, and returned to Myriad Demons City. The Myriad Demons Conference had attracted a few hundred Monster Kings from the entire Boundless Island. Most of the experts were in Myriad Demons City. In the end, the few hundred Monster Kings and tens of thousands of Monster Sages submitted to Ling Xiao. With the Myriad Demons banner, Ling Xiao was not worried that they would betray him. Ling Xiao imparted some powerful super skills to the 4 Monster Kings. After they cultivated them, they imparted them to the experts of the Demon Tribe. Although the Monster Kings and Monster Sages in Boundless Island had powerful cultivation, their combat strength was still too weak. This was mainly because they did not have powerful inheritances. With the super skills that Ling Xiao imparted to them, their combat strength would increase significantly in no time. It's time to return to the Dragon Tribe, Ling Xiao muttered to himself. He had gained a lot this time. Not only had he obtained the Myriad Demons banner, but he had also subdued many experts of the Demon Tribe in Boundless Island. When they grew up, they would definitely give Ling Xiao a huge surprise. Ling Xiao had decided that he would return to the Divine World after the Untainted Mystery Land opened. Enaishang, Cypress King, Peony King, and Willow King. The 4 of you will be in charge of Myriad Demons City in the future. I hope that you will cultivate well. I will need you soon. Ling Xiao looked at Enaishang and the other 3 behind him and said slowly, Lord of Demons, don't worry. We will not let you down the next time we meet. Enaishang smiled. All right. Ling Xiao nodded. Then a dazzling light flashed between his eyebrows. In an instant, a heavenly might appeared like a prison monument. It directly emitted a powerful spatial power, breaking through the void and creating a powerful spatial tunnel. Even though the space here was incomparably sturdy and was surrounded by the Nirvana Ocean, Even the 4 demon kings had no way of leaving. However, Ling Xiao had already left the spatial coordinates at the 1,000 Demons Sacred Mountain. With the heaven's might, he didn't even need to cross the Nirvana Ocean, and could directly open a spatial tunnel. Swoosh, swoosh, whoosh. Ling Xiao took the old goat and Taoist Wuliang, and turned into 3 streams of light. They shot into the space tunnel and soon disappeared. 10,000 Dragons Sacred Mountain. After an unknown amount of time, Ling Xiao, the old goat, and Taoist Wuliang walked out of the void. In front of them was the familiar 10,000 Dragons Sacred Mountain, the ancestral land of the Dragon Clan. "Cousin, you're finally back." A cheerful and excited voice sounded. Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao sensed Ling Xiao's aura, and came out from the myriad dragon heavenly palace to welcome him. Their eyes were filled with joy. Complete Sage Stage. He has already stabilized his cultivation. He's only 1 step away from breaking through to Great Sage Stage. Not bad. Not bad. Ling Xiao looked at Long Outyin and revealed a satisfied smile. Long Outyin had received the ancestral dragon's blessing during the Dragon King enthronement ceremony. His cultivation base had improved by leaps and bounds. He had risen from the beginning stage of the Sage Realm to the Great Perfection stage of the Sage Realm. It was inevitable that his foundation would be unstable at such a fast speed. However, Ling Xiao discovered that Long Outyin had already stabilized his cultivation at the Great Perfection Sage Realm. Moreover, he would be able to make a breakthrough soon. "Cousin, the untainted secret land has opened. The young clan leaders of the other 4 great sacred clans have all entered the untainted secret land. Now only my dragon tribe is left." Long Outyin said. "The untainted secret land has opened so soon." Ling Xiao was a little surprised. He had thought that the untainted secret land would still take some time before it opened. After all, the other 4 great sacred clans had just obtained the origin secret skill from him. That's right. Senior Gu Daoyi and the 4 old ancestors of the other 4 great sacred clans have met. They have joined forces to open the seal and the untainted secret land. Bai Hansong and Huangju have already entered the untainted secret land. However, the commotion caused by the opening of the untainted secret land this time was too great. Senior Gu Daoyi said that he was afraid that someone else had discovered the untainted secret land and would enter it. He asked us to be careful. Long Outyin said slowly. Long Outyin had wanted to enter the untainted secret land as soon as possible. However, he suppressed his curiosity. After all, the trial in the untainted secret land this time concerned the overlords of the 5 great sacred clans. Long Outyin felt that it would be better to have Ling Xiao with him. Untainted secret land? That's a good place. Long Outyin, have you decided who you want to bring into the untainted secret land? The old goat's eyes lit up as he asked Long Outyin. I have decided. The untainted secret land is full of dangers. It might not be a good thing for too many people to enter. Instead, it would distract us. The little princess, my cousin, and I would like to bring Brother Old Goat and Brother Wu Liang with us. Only then will I be at ease. Long Outyin said with a smile. You do have a conscience. The untainted secret land of the 5 great sacred clans. I have been wanting to see it for a long time. The old goat instantly beamed with joy. Where is the entrance to the untainted secret land? Do we have to go through Archosaur Star? Ling Xiao asked. That's right. We can only reach the safe place in the untainted secret land through Archosaur Star. Otherwise, the untainted secret land will be full of dangers. I'm afraid that it will be difficult for us to deal with them. Long Outyin said as he nodded. Brother Ling Xiao, I believe that you will be able to subdue the people from the 4 great sacred clans, and allow the dragon tribe to control the 5 great sacred clans. Long Xiaoxiao said with a smile. She looked at Ling Xiao with eyes full of admiration. Xiaoxiao, I will definitely be the one to subdue the people from the 4 great sacred clans. Bai Hansong and Huangju will be defeated by me. Just wait for me to become the leader of the 5 great sacred clans and marry you. Long Outyin said with a smile. Marry you? A strange look appeared in Ling Xiao's eyes. Bastard, don't talk nonsense. Long Xiaoxiao's face instantly turned red, looking like a shy little girl. Hee hee, how am I talking nonsense? Cousin, Xiao Xiao has promised me that she will marry me if I can subdue the people from the 4 great sacred clans, and make the dragon tribe the leader of the 5 great sacred clans. Long Outyin chuckled and said proudly, "You wish, brat. The little princess is an outstanding beauty with peerless talent. You must have saved the heavens in your previous life to have such good luck." The old goat said with a smile. "That's right. I have saved the universe more than once. You are lucky." Taoist Wuliang nodded his head in agreement. I am not going to talk to you anymore." Long Xiaoxiao blushed and stomped her feet. She then turned around and ran away. Ling Xiao, the old goat, and Taoist Wuliang looked at each other and burst out laughing. This was really something to be happy about. Chapter 2679. In the boundless chaotic void, a terrifying giant beast that was hundreds of millions of miles long was lying dormant in the chaos. Every time it breathed, there would be terrifying lightning as though it was going to destroy the world. 3 figures with powerful auras stood respectfully in front of the giant beast. Their eyes were filled with fanaticism and worship. The 5 sacred tribes have opened the Eldritch Mystery Land again. The most important fragment of the Eldritch Land has appeared. The great trial of the era is coming and all the worlds are merging. No one can stop it. The cold voice boomed in the chaos like thunder, and it even set off a terrifying storm. "Your Majesty, this is the best opportunity for us to unify the monster world. As long as we get the Eldritch Mystery Land, we will be able to defeat the 5 sacred tribes. By then, you will be invincible in the monster world." One of the figures said respectfully, "That's right. The Eldritch Mystery Land must be in my hands. It is the foundation of my future path. I will think of a way to send the 3 of you into the Eldritch Mystery Land. This time Ling Xiao, the chosen one, will definitely enter the Eldritch Mystery Land. Find a chance to kill Ling Xiao and bring back the Heavenway fate from him. Kill the heirs of the 5 sacred tribes and find out the secret of the Eldritch Mystery Land. Do you understand?" The giant beast opened its eyes suddenly. Its crimson eyes were filled with killing intent, and they were as dazzling as the sun. "Your Majesty," the 3 figures replied at the same time. Rumble. The giant beast was surrounded by chaotic light. In an instant, the void in front of it shattered. The chaotic light and the lightning intertwined and formed a huge, eerie maelstrom. It was like a void tunnel that led to a foreign world. The 3 figures bowed to the giant beast respectfully. Then they turned into 3 streaks of flowing light and shot into the huge maelstrom. They disappeared completely. Ling Xiao came to Archosaur Star again. Archosaur Star still looked ancient and mysterious. It exuded a barbaric aura. The Archosaur Mountain at the center of the star towered into the clouds. However, there was a huge void tunnel at the peak of Archosaur Mountain. Gu Daoyi sat cross-legged at the peak of Archosaur Mountain. He exuded an ethereal and mysterious aura, as though he had become one with Archosaur Mountain. He was activating the power of the array to maintain the void tunnel. "Ling Xiao, you're here." After sensing the auras of Ling Xiao and the others, Gu Daoyi slowly opened his eyes. His gaze was filled with vicissitudes and wisdom. "Senior Gu, is this the passageway to the great desolate mystic realm?" Ling Xiao asked. "That's right. It is this passageway. The primitive secret realm is a fragment of the primitive continent. It is strange, and it is not inferior to a great thousand world. It contains many dangers. You must be careful when you enter it," Gu Daoyi exhorted. "Don't worry, Senior Gu. I'll definitely subdue the other 4 sacred clans and become the leader of the 5 sacred clans," Long Outyin said confidently. "I'm not worried about the other 4 sacred clans. Although you all compete with each other, you're all of the same spirit and branch, so you won't be too ruthless. However, you have to pay attention to the others, especially the natives of the prehistoric mystic realm. I vaguely feel that perhaps an imperial emperor has been born in the prehistoric mystic realm." Gu Daoyi looked at the huge vortex in the sky. His gaze seemed to be able to see through everything as he sighed softly. "Emperor?" Ling Xiao and the others looked at each other. They couldn't help but tremble, and a hint of seriousness appeared in their eyes. If there was really an imperial emperor in the prehistoric mystic realm, then they would indeed be in great danger. Gu Dawi and the elders of the other 4 sacred clans had opened the prehistoric mystic realm together. Although they couldn't enter, their perception of the prehistoric mystic realm shouldn't be wrong. The prehistoric mystic realm is filled with too many unknown secrets. Even the 5 sacred clans can't be completely clear about it. I hope that your trip will be smooth, Gu Dawi said slowly to Ling Xiao and the others. Thank you, Senior Gu Dawi. Ling Xiao nodded and said, since there might be an imperial emperor in the prehistoric mystic realm, then they couldn't be too conspicuous. It was better to be careful. Moreover, the other 4 sacred clans had already entered. They must have a certain understanding of the current situation in the prehistoric mystic realm. At the crucial moment, they still had to cooperate with them. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Ling Xiao and the others instantly leaped up and turned into streaks of light that shot into the void passageway. Rumble. The surrounding space distorted, and all they could see were resplendent lights and mysterious runes. In just an instant, all the phenomena disappeared, and Ling Xiao's group of 5 appeared in an unfamiliar world. There are indeed outsiders. Capture them all. A cold female voice rang in the ears of Ling Xiao and the others. In an instant, powerful auras rose from the surroundings, controlling a huge golden net to descend from the sky, enveloping Ling Xiao and the other 4 within it. Ling Xiao didn't even have time to observe the prehistoric mystic realm. Who would have thought that they would be ambushed? Boom. Ling Xiao did not even think about it. Purple gas rose from his palm, and in an instant he grabbed hold of the giant golden net. Divine power gushed out from his body, and with a sudden rip he tore the giant net apart. Who are you people? A sharp light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes as he stared at the woman before him. The place where they appeared was a huge 5-colored altar. It was built with strange ores and emitted 5-colored divine light. It looked mysterious and brilliant. It was surrounded by mountains, and they were in a valley. Standing in front of Ling Xiao was a graceful woman in purple armor. She was tall and slender, with long, wavy purple hair. Her skin was as white as jade, and her figure was extremely hot. She held a golden battle bow in her hand, and exuded an extremely powerful aura. She looked cold and arrogant. There was a crescent moon mark in between her eyebrows, which made her look mysterious and noble. She looked at Ling Xiao and the others with hostility. There were hundreds of powerful warriors with spears in their hands. They were all in purple armor, and they were surrounded by a murderous aura. The spears in their hands were locked on Ling Xiao and the others as if they were going to kill them at any time. Purple Moon Holy Tribe? How dare you behave atrociously at the 5-colored altar of the Dragon Tribe? Long Outyin said as he stared at the woman in front of him. The altar was not only the passageway to the prehistoric mystic realm from Archosaur Star, but it was also the symbol of the Dragon Tribe. Even the natives of the prehistoric mystic realm didn't dare to come here. Long Outyin was shocked and angry. They had just entered the prehistoric mystic realm, and they were surrounded by people who wanted to capture them alive. Dragon Tribe? You're just a group of shameless outsiders. Quickly surrender, or we'll kill you without mercy. The woman in purple armor said coldly. Her eyes were filled with disdain. Chapter 2680. The Purple Moon Divine Clan was once protected by the Dragon Clan. Even if you don't guard the 5-colored altar for the Dragon Clan, you should mind your own business, right? Is this your own idea? Or is it the opinion of the Purple Moon Divine Clan? Ling Xiao looked at the purple-haired woman in front of him, and said indifferently. Although the untainted mystery land was extremely mysterious and had not been opened for hundreds of millions of years, the Dragon Clan still had some records about it, including the native forces, ferocious birds and beasts, natural treasures, treasure lands, and dangerous places in the untainted mystery land. Long Outyin had already told Ling Xiao all of this through voice transmission. The purple-haired woman's cultivation was extraordinary. She had already reached the pinnacle of the Saint King realm. The hundreds of warriors around her were all filled with Saint aura. They were all above the Saint realm. There were even more than a dozen great saints. They could be considered an extremely powerful force. Ling Xiao was also very curious as to why the Purple Moon Divine Clan was so hostile to them. The Dragon Clan? The Dragon Clan hasn't appeared for hundreds of millions of years. Who knows if you're pretending? So what if it's my own idea? So what if it's the Purple Moon Divine Clan's idea? The purple-haired woman's face was extremely cold as she stared at Ling Xiao and said coldly. She was also extremely shocked. The giant golden net was formed by many warriors of the Purple Moon Divine Clan using their magical powers. Even a Saint King would not be able to break it. However, Ling Xiao, who seemed to only have the cultivation of the Great Saint Realm, had torn it apart easily. This was an extremely powerful outsider. If it's your own idea, as an offense to the Dragon Clan, I'll teach you a lesson. But if it's the Purple Moon Divine Clan's idea, it means war. The Purple Moon Divine Clan will be the enemy of the Dragon Clan. When facing an enemy, we must kill them all. Ling Xiao sneered. His eyes shone with a sharp light, giving off an incomparably dignified aura. This caused the purple-haired woman's expression to change involuntarily. In an instant, the purple-haired woman felt as if a divine dragon had come to her face, exuding an unparalleled dragon's aura. Are you really from the Dragon Clan? After hearing Ling Xiao's words, the purple-haired woman was extremely angry, but there was also a trace of suspicion in her eyes. I'm Long Outyin, the current Dragon King of the Dragon Clan. Long Outyin took a step forward, and the vast ancestral dragon bloodline around him instantly gushed out like a sun, blazing light that illuminated everything. Roar! The dragon's roar shook the air. In an instant, boundless vital energy surged. A mighty 9-colored dragon coiled around Long Outyin, giving him an indescribable sense of majesty. Rumble! At this moment, the 5-colored altar under Ling Xiao and the others seemed to have sensed the ancestral dragon bloodline in Long Outyin's body. It trembled slightly and emitted a 5-colored divine light that shot into the sky like a heavenly pillar. Bathing in the mighty 5-colored divine light, Long Outyin looked like a primordial ancestral dragon descending to the world, making people want to kneel down and worship him. The current dragon monarch of the dragon race? The purple-haired woman's expression changed, and her gaze became complicated. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, as if they had sensed the powerful aura erupting from the 5-colored altar, several powerful figures flew over from afar. Zining, do not be rude to our esteemed guest. An old voice rang out in the air. The few figures instantly appeared in front of Ling Xiao and the others. There were 3 figures in purple robes. 2 of them were elders in purple robes, and one was a young man in purple robes. They had the mark of a purple crescent moon between their eyebrows. All of them were from the Purple Moon Divine Clan. The 2 elders in purple robes looked similar, as if they were twin brothers. They had a ruddy complexion and white hair. Their faces were majestic, and their auras were unfathomable. The young man in purple robes was slender, and his face was like jade. He looked handsome and elegant, with a faint smile at the corner of his mouth. His temperament was very gentle, but for some reason, Ling Xiao felt a strong sense of enmity from the young man in purple robes. Enmity towards the 5 of them. Second elder, third elder, senior brother Zijian, why are you here? Zining. Expression changed slightly, and she said with an unnatural expression. Speaking of which, she had secretly brought the warriors of the Purple Moon God Clan here this time, because she wanted to capture a few outsiders to vent her anger. Why are we here? Zining, you are getting bolder and bolder. Without the permission of the Elders' Council, you actually brought the purple spirit guards to the 5-colored altar. What are you trying to do? Do you still have the Elders' Council in your eyes? If we hadn't come quickly, you would have caused a disaster. The second elder, Zihe, said with a glare. The third elder, Zichuan, quickly walked towards Ling Xiao and the others. His gaze fell on Long Outyin, and he said with a smile, Are you the distinguished guests of the Dragon Clan? I'm sorry, but Zining, was insensible and almost offended you all. After hearing Zihe and Zichuan's words, Ling Xiao also understood that it was Zining, who had secretly attacked them. It was not the attitude of the Purple Moon Divine Clan. This way, the situation had not reached the point of no return. Elders, how would I know that they were from the Dragon Clan? The Dragon Clan has disappeared for hundreds of millions of years. I just wanted to capture a few outsiders to avenge my grandfather, Zining said with a bitter smile. Junior sister Ning. Or you were too rash this time. Those outsiders are despicable and shameless and deserve to die. However, these are the distinguished guests of the Dragon Clan, the distinguished guests of the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Quickly apologized to them. Zijian, who was as handsome as Jade, said to Ning, or with a serious look in his eyes. Yes. Distinguished guests, Ninger has been rude. Please forgive me. Ning, or seemed to be very afraid of Zijian. She could only lower her head and bow deeply to Ling Xiao and the others. It's fine. Since it's a misunderstanding, then forget it. May I ask what happened in the Great Desolation Mystic Realm? Why are you so hostile towards outsiders? Long Outyin waved his hand generously. At the same time he asked curiously. Lord Dragon God, you don't know. The Chaos Secret Territory was isolated from the rest of the world. It was originally very peaceful. However, since a month ago, some outsiders entered this place and things changed. Those outsiders entered the Chaos Secret Territory, stole the treasures of heaven and earth, killed the rare birds and beasts, and occupied the cultivation treasures. However, they burned, robbed, raped, and plundered the divine clans. There was no evil that they would not shrink from. They even snuck into the various clans, stole their treasures, and killed their core members, causing the various clans to be in danger. Right now, the Chaos Mystic Realm was in a complete mess. Just a few days ago, a few outsiders came through the Rainbow Altar and pretended to be members of the Dragon Clan. Our Purple Moon Divine Clan welcomed them warmly. However, not only did they steal the Purple Moon Divine Gold from the Purple Moon Divine Clan, they also injured the first elder. That's why Ning is like this. Elder Z, he said with a bitter smile. Chapter 2681. After hearing Elder Zihi's explanation, Ling Xiao, Long Outyin, and the others finally understood why Ning was so hostile towards them. The Purple Moon Divine Tribe's Grand Elder was Ning, grandfather, and the Purple Moon Divine Medal was the supreme treasure of the Purple Moon Divine Tribe. It was a legendary medal. No wonder Ning was so angry and wanted to capture the outsiders to vent her anger. You're saying that the outsiders entered the Chaos Secret Realm a month ago? And they even entered through the five-colored altar? How is that possible? Long Outyin's eyes were filled with disbelief. After all, the Dragon God enthronement ceremony was just a month ago. At that time, the four divine tribes had just obtained the origin source secret technique. Even Gu Dawi and the other four divine tribes' ancestors had only opened the Chaos Secret Realm a few days ago. That meant that someone had already entered the Chaos Secret Realm a month ago. How was that possible? What shocked Long Outyin even more was that the five-colored altar was the Dragon Tribe's passageway. How could others have entered the Chaos Secret Realm through the five-colored altar? It seems like things have gone beyond our imagination. Ling Zhao's expression also became somewhat serious. The Chaos Secret Realm had always been under the control of the five divine tribes, and only the disciples of the five divine tribes could enter to train. Logically speaking, outsiders should not be able to enter. However, according to the Purple Moon Divine Tribe's people, the Chaos Secret Realm had already opened a month ago. Who could it be? Bai Hansong and the others should know something. Perhaps we can find out something when we contact them. Long Xiaoxiao said slowly. Esteemed guests of the Dragon Tribe, please follow me back to the Purple Moon Divine Tribe. Our Grand Elder might know something about what you're wondering. Elder Z, he said slowly. If that's the case, then I'll have to trouble you. Ling Xiao nodded and said to Zihi. He was very curious about the group of outsiders that Elder Zihi had mentioned. They had actually caused chaos in the Chaos Secret Realm, and even the Purple Moon Divine Tribe's Grand Elder had been severely injured. Ling Xiao could vaguely sense that those outsiders might not be from the Demon Realm. There were 5 majestic mountains around the valley where the 5-colored altar was. They contained the power of life and death of the 5 elements. It was a natural array. Not far from the 5-colored altar, there was a mountain that was tens of thousands of meters tall. It was called the Purple Moon Divine Mountain, and it was the territory of the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Under the guidance of the 2 elders, Zihi and Zichuan, Ling Xiao and the others arrived at the Purple Moon Divine Clan. The Purple Moon Divine Mountain was shrouded in resplendent starlight. It was ethereal and mysterious. It looked majestic. Ancient trees towered into the sky. It was like a paradise, ethereal and auspicious. There were not many people in the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Only about 10,000 of them. However, the talents of the people of the Purple Moon Divine Clan were extremely powerful, which made Ling Xiao sigh in admiration. Among the 10,000 people of the Purple Moon Divine Clan, there were actually thousands of saints. The Purple Moon Divine Clan was probably comparable to an immortal sacred land in the God realm. However, the people of the Purple Moon Divine Clan were not so friendly to Ling Xiao and the others. Their eyes were filled with hatred. If it were not for the two elders, they would have rushed up and attacked Ling Xiao and the others. At the peak of the Purple Moon Divine Mountain was the Purple Moon Divine Palace. It was the place where the Purple Moon Divine Clan worshipped the Purple Moon Divine Goddess. It was also where the Elders Association was located. The Purple Moon Divine Clan did not have a clan leader. The Elders Association, which was formed by 9 great elders, ruled the entire Purple Moon Divine Clan. In the Purple Moon Divine Palace, Ling Xiao saw the great elder of the Purple Moon Divine Clan, Zifenglai. Zifenglai looked incomparably old. His face was full of wrinkles and his whole body exuded a kind of lethargy. He held a walking stick in his hand and reclined on the bed in the middle. His face was slightly pale. He looked like an ordinary old man. He did not even have any cultivation aura. He was extremely ordinary. However, such an old man was the strongest person in the Purple Moon Divine Clan. He was the great elder of the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Cough cough. Honored guests of the Dragon Clan, you have come. Zifenglia's aged and gentle voice carried traces of weakness and exhaustion. He slowly stood up and his wise and experienced gaze landed on Ling Xiao and the other 4. The moment he stood up, Ling Xiao immediately felt that his figure had become incomparably tall, as if he was holding up the world. Zifenglia's pair of eyes seemed to be able to see through everything. Long Outyin, Long Xiaoxiao, and the others all felt as if their bodies were seen through by Zifenglai. It was a kind of insight that could not be hidden. Only Ling Xiao's expression was incomparably calm. His gaze was calm. I did not expect that other than the current dragon god, there would be this era's chosen one. The arrival of the 2 venerables really brings light to my humble dwelling of the Purple Moon Divine Clan. May I know the names of these young friends? Zifenglai looked at Ling Xiao with a little surprise. Great Elder, you are too polite. I am Ling Xiao. This is the current dragon god of the Dragon Clan, Long Outyin. This is the daughter of the previous dragon god, Long Xiaoxiao. These 2 are my good brothers and Anen Wuliang. Ling Xiao smiled faintly before introducing Long Outyin and the others to him. Ling Xiao was not surprised that Zifenglai could see that he was the chosen one. After all, he had the heavenly fate. Zifenglai in front of him was unfathomable. His cultivation had already reached the heavenly venerable realm. It was not difficult for him to see the heavenly fate on him at a glance. However, he was very curious. Who exactly was it that could injure Zifenglai? In Ling Xiao's eyes, Zifenglia's injuries were not light. However, after Ling Xiao's introduction, especially after introducing Long Outyin, everyone in the Purple Moon Divine Hall could not help but be stunned. There was a trace of hostility in their eyes when they looked at Long Outyin. Long Outyin was a little confused for a moment. He did not know how he had offended them. What's wrong with my name being Long Outyin? I did not eat your rice. These people of the Purple Moon Divine Clan are a bunch of lunatics. Long Outyin cursed in his heart and was extremely depressed. Young friend Ling Xiao, are you curious about my injuries? I have embarrassed myself in front of you. Previously, there was an outsider who entered the Chaos Secret Realm from the 5-color altar and pretended to be a member of the Dragon Clan. I was careless and was injured by him. Zifenglai saw the doubt in Ling Xiao's eyes and smiled indifferently. Who dares to pretend to be a member of the Dragon Clan? Long Outyin asked. What a coincidence. Your Majesty Dragon Monarch, that person calls himself Long Outyin. Zifenglai looked at Long Outyin and said slowly. What? At this moment, Long Outyin finally knew why the people of the Purple Moon Divine Clan were hostile to him. Ling Xiao and the others also had a strange look in their eyes. Long Outyin was so angry that he was about to curse. Which bastard dared to impersonate his name? Bastard, If I find out who dares to impersonate me, I will definitely kill him. Long Outyin was so angry that he cursed. Ling Xiao suddenly had a thought and asked Zifenglai, Great Elder, what does the person who calls himself Long Outyin look like? Chapter 2682. That was a heroic young man. His skin was like jade, and he was extraordinarily handsome. He had the bearing of a king, and his temperament was something this old man had never seen before. He looked somewhat similar to little friend Ling Xiao, but not quite the same. His mount is an ancient divine beast, the three-legged golden crow. He also has two powerful guardians following him. He is extremely powerful. This is his image. Do you recognize him? Zifenglai said slowly. He then waved his sleeves and used his mental strength to construct an image in front of Ling Xiao and the rest. It was a slender and heroic young man in golden armor. His face was like jade, and he was extraordinarily handsome. His face was dignified and mysterious. The corners of his mouth were slightly raised, and he had a domineering and arrogant aura. This is Ling Xiao, Old Goat, and Taoist Wuliang were shocked. They never thought that the person who impersonated Long Outyin would be this guy. Zhao Ritian. The image that Zifenglai constructed was indeed Zhao Ritian. However, Ling Xiao, the Old Goat, and Taoist Wuliang were three sly old foxes. Although they were extremely shocked, they looked at each other and revealed a dazed expression. They didn't reveal the slightest bit of abnormality. Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao were not familiar with Zhao Ritian. Therefore, they did not recognize him. We don't recognize this person either. Great Elder, this person looks heroic and has an extraordinary temperament. Why would he impersonate the dragon god and do something so outrageous in the Purple Moon Divine clan? Ling Xiao asked doubtfully. He began to be cautious. Although Zhao Ritian was both his enemy and his friend, he knew that Zhao Ritian was not a bad person. He was definitely not a despicable and shameless person. Why did the Purple Moon Divine clan call him a villain who stole the Purple Moon Divine gold and attacked Zifenglai? Moreover, Zifenglai was obviously suspicious of Ling Xiao and the rest. After constructing Zhao Ritian's image, he had been observing their reactions. He wanted to see if they recognized Zhao Ritian. Fortunately, Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao were not familiar with Zhao Ritian. Ling Xiao, Old Goat, and Taoist Wuliang were all sly old foxes. Although they were shocked, they did not show it on their faces. You don't recognize this person? We didn't expect this boy to do such a thing. He has the bloodline of the Dragon Clan, and came from the 5 colored altars. This old master originally planned to marry Ning to him, but I didn't expect him to be worse than a beast. Not only did he plot against Ning but after the matter was exposed, he stole the Purple Moon Divine gold and attacked me. Zifenglia's eyes were filled with regret. This person deserves to die. Where is he? If Great Elder knows the whereabouts of this child, I will immediately head over and kill him, lest he tarnish the reputation of our dragon clan. Ling Xiao revealed a look of righteous indignation as he spoke. That's right. This guy is sanctimonious but has a human face and a beast heart. He's not a good person. Old Goat said angrily. First Elder, you're too kind. You shouldn't have let him go. Taoist Wuliang. Looking at Ling Xiao, Old Goat, and Taoist Wuliang, Long Outyin had a strange look in his eyes. Perhaps others did not know, but he could tell that Ling Xiao and the other two were pretending. What evil tricks were these 3 fellows up to this time? At this time, even if Long Outyin was a little slow, he could sense that something was wrong. My clan is about to find the whereabouts of that person. If you can help us capture him, we are willing to give you the Purple Moon Divine gold he stole. Zifenglai said with a smile. Purple Moon Divine gold? Is that true? The Old Goat's eyes revealed an incomparably pleasantly surprised expression. That's right. That guy is extremely cunning. I am afraid that it will be difficult for my Purple Moon Divine clan to capture him, and I will have to rely on your esteemed guests to take action. Perhaps you will be able to capture him in one fell swoop. Everyone, please stay in my Purple Moon Divine clan for the time being, and once we have news of him, we will immediately inform you. Zifenglai said with sincerity. No problem. However, Great Elder, we still need to focus on the trial. I'm afraid we can't stay for long. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Little friend Ling Xiao, don't worry. We will find the whereabouts of that person in at most 3 days, or at least 1 day. The Dragon Clan and my Purple Moon Divine Clan have always been on good terms. Since you have entered the Chaos Secret Territory with great difficulty, my Purple Moon Divine Clan naturally has to be a good host. Ning, bring these guests to stay for the time being. Zifenglai said with a smile. If that's the case, then I'll have to trouble you. Ling Xiao nodded. Then, under Zi-Ning's lead, everyone left the Purple Moon Divine Palace. Buzz. After Ling Xiao and the others left, Zifenglai waved his sleeve. Suddenly, a powerful barrier rose up and enveloped the Purple Moon Divine Palace. Big brother, they have already entered the trap. They are only at the Great Saint Realm. Even if they are strong, how strong can they be? Why don't we just capture them and hand them over to His Highness? Zihi said with a ruthless look on his face. That's right. His Highness wants the people from the 5 Great Saint clans. Now that the people from the 4 Great Saint clans have been captured by His Highness, only the people from the Dragon Clan are left. Why should we complicate things? Zichuan asked with some doubts. You don't know. If it's only the people from the Dragon Clan, then they definitely won't be able to escape from the Purple Moon Divine Palace. However, that Ling Xiao is the chosen one. He has the heavenly fate and cannot be underestimated. I feel an extremely dangerous aura from his body. If we don't capture him, I'm afraid he will ruin our plans. Zifenglia's body flashed with light and turned into a rosy-cheeked and dignified old man. His eyes shone with divine light, and there was no sign of injury. Then why did you let them deal with that fake Long Outyin? Zihi asked. That fake Long Outyin is very powerful and can be used to test the strength of this Ling Xiao. Moreover, this Ling Xiao has the heavenly fate. If I can seize his heavenly fate, I might be able to advance further. When I become the emperor, why should my Purple Moon Divine Clan lower our heads to others? Just follow my orders. Everything is under my control. Zifenglai said slowly, his eyes revealing a strong ambition. Emperor? Congratulations, big brother. Zihi and Zichuan's eyes were filled with incomparable surprise as they hurriedly bowed. The chosen one is the legendary ruler of an era. He has the heavenly fate. Although he only has the cultivation of the Great Saint Realm, he is still worthy of our caution and caution. Without absolute certainty, we must not attack him. Treat them well for the next 2 days. I will arrange the best burial place for him. Zifenglai said with a faint smile. Then, with a wave of his sleeve, his entire body emitted a bright purple light. Like a rain of light, he disappeared from the Purple Moon Divine Palace. Please remember the domain name of this book. M. Chapter 2683. Qingfeng Garden. This was a courtyard located halfway up the Purple Moon Celestial Mountain. It was surrounded by a bamboo forest and a waterfall. It was very quiet, and was the place where the Purple Moon Celestial Clan entertained their guests. Ling Xiao and the other 4 were arranged to stay in Qingfeng Garden. After moving into Qingfeng Garden, Ling Xiao dismissed all the servants. He then waved his hand and set up a powerful restrictive boundary, isolating them from all possible probing. There's something wrong with the Purple Moon Celestial Clan. Taoist Wuliang said slowly. What's wrong with the Purple Moon Celestial Clan? But I think that old man Zifenglai is unfathomable and very dangerous. Long Outyin asked doubtfully. Can't you see it? Zifenglai said that the person who impersonated you is Zhao Ritian. Although Zhao Ritian is very flashy, he's not a bad person. But in the eyes of the Purple Moon Celestial Clan, he's a heinous person. Don't you think it's strange? The old goat glared at Long Outyin and said, What? Zhao Ritian? I was wondering why I felt that guy was familiar. Isn't Zhao Ritian the son of the Heavenly Emperor? He should be in the realm of the gods now. How did he come to the Chaos Secret Territory? Long Outyan's eyes widened in disbelief. Naturally, he also recognized Zhao Ritian, but he was not very familiar with him. Some of Zhao Ritian's deeds were told to him by Ling Xiao. He did not expect that incomparably showy guy to be the legendary son of the Celestial Emperor. This identity was really frightening. We can only ask Zhao Ritian about this. The key is that this bastard came in through the Dragon Clan's 5-colored altar. According to the Purple Moon Celestial Clan, Zhao Ritian not only stole the Purple Moon Divine Gold, but also attacked Zifeng Lai. But I have a feeling that there's a conspiracy behind this. Ling Xiao said slowly. There must be a conspiracy. The Purple Moon Celestial Clan has 9 great elders, and all of them are Saint Kings. Why would they need our help to capture Zhao Ritian? Maybe they saw something and wanted to test our strength. The old goat sneered. He was never afraid to judge people with the greatest malice, especially people like the Purple Moon Celestial Clan, who could not distinguish between good and evil. That's right. I'm even thinking that Zichuan, Zihe, and Zijian didn't just happen to rush over to stop Zining. Perhaps they were hiding somewhere, and only showed themselves when they saw the ancestral dragon bloodline in Aotian's body. Daoist Wuyang nodded. Cousin, it seems that the Purple Moon Divine Clan is harboring ill intentions towards us. Why don't we just kill our way out? It's too dangerous for us to stay here, and we'll be too passive. Long Outyin said eagerly. There's no hurry. Let's wait for a while. Didn't the Purple Moon Divine Race say that they had already found Zhao Ritian's whereabouts? At the very least, we have to figure out what the Purple Moon Divine Race is planning. However, I have already guessed that it is none other than Aotian's ancestral dragon bloodline, and my heavenly Dao luck. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, a sharp glint in his eyes. He was also curious as to how Zhao Ritian managed to enter the Great Desolation's secret realm, through the Dragon Clan's 5-colored altar. Moreover, through the Purple Moon Divine Race's understanding of the situation, Ling Xiao also discovered that the Great Desolation's secret realm was now out of the control of the 5 great sacred clans, and had become extremely chaotic. Ling Xiao had to find out who had entered the Great Desolation's secret realm first, and caused the chaos in the Great Desolation's secret realm. It was like a pair of invisible black hands stirring up the Great Desolation's secret realm. The Purple Moon Divine Race was more polite to Ling Xiao and the rest. They took out all kinds of delicacies and rare fruits to entertain Ling Xiao and the rest. Ling Xiao and the rest settled down with peace of mind. A day later, news came from the Purple Moon Divine Race. Esteemed guests, we have found the whereabouts of the impostor of the Dragon God. He is in the Silver Frost Valley, thousands of miles away from here. He has been trapped by the 3 elders of our clan. Zining said to Ling Xiao and the rest. Have you already found his tracks? Very good. Lady Ninger, please lead us there. I would like to see who dares to impersonate me. I will definitely kill him. Long Outyin laughed arrogantly. His eyes were filled with coldness. Esteemed guests, please follow me. Zininger nodded, a strange look in her eyes. Soon, the Purple Moon Divine Race gathered. With Great Elder Zifeng Lai as the leader, Zichuan, Zihe, Zijian, Zining and hundreds of powerful warriors, they boarded a void treasure ship of the Purple Moon Divine Race and flew towards the Silver Frost Valley. Ling Xiao and the rest were filled with righteous indignation. They were incomparably furious and could not wait to tear the impostor of Long Outyin into pieces. Although the Purple Moon Divine Race had their suspicions, they could not see any flaws at all. Soon, they arrived at the Silver Frost Valley. The Silver Frost Valley was covered in white snow all year round. It looked like it was wrapped in silver, and the cold wind was biting cold. It was a unique scenery. 3 figures with powerful auras sat cross-legged in the void. Their auras intertwined, forming an extremely powerful sealing formation that sealed the Silver Frost Valley. In the Silver Frost Valley, there was a young man in golden armor. He looked heroic and had an extraordinary bearing. His entire body exuded an extremely powerful aura, and his eyes were cold and arrogant. It was as if the sealing formation set up by the 3 figures was not in his eyes at all. Thief, why don't you surrender now? When the experts of the Purple Moon Divine Race arrive, it will be the time of your death. The 3 figures were the 3 elders of the Purple Moon Divine Race. One of them, a purple-robed elder, had an extremely cold look in his eyes as he spoke in a cold voice. Huh? You useless chickens and pottery dogs? What Purple Moon Divine Race? You're just a bunch of despicable and hypocritical bastards. If it wasn't for that old dog Zifenglai scheming to steal my bloodline, why would I attack you? The young man in golden armor sneered. His eyes were full of disdain. Scheming to steal your bloodline? Who do you think you are? Our Purple Moon divine race is a dignified divine race. Why would we care about your inferior bloodline? Since you're not willing to hand it over, then die. The purple-robed elder said coldly. Rumble. Purple lightning rose around the three elders. In an instant, three powerful palm prints covered the sky and pressed down on the young man. The young man snorted coldly. In an instant, blazing flames rose around his body and burned the three powerful palm prints. A terrifying murderous intent rose around him. In an instant, he was about to rush into the sky and kill the three elders. At this moment, the Purple Moon Divine Race's Void Treasure Ship arrived at the Silver Frost Valley. Ling Xiao could tell at a glance that the young man in the Silver Frost Valley was Zhao Ritian. Ling Xiao was slightly agitated. However, he still leaped into the sky in an instant. A strong murderous aura emanated from his body as he pounced towards Zhao Ritian. He then shouted, "Thief! How dare you impersonate the dragon god of the dragon tribe? Give me your life." After hearing Ling Xiao's voice, Zhao Ritian suddenly turned his head. When he saw Ling Xiao charging towards him, he was instantly stunned. Chapter 2684. Zhao Ritian did not expect to see Ling Xiao here, and in such a manner. At this moment, Zhao Ritian only had one thought in his mind. Damn, I was discovered by this bastard when I pretended to be Long Outyin? Rumble. Blazing light rose from Ling Xiao's body. His attack contained an incomparably terrifying power, as if it was going to destroy everything. His speed was extremely fast. In an instant he entered the Silver Frost Valley and arrived in front of Zhao Ritian. Zhao Ritian could even see Ling Xiao winking at him. Then a voice was transmitted into his consciousness. Zhao Ritian, let's pretend to fight. You can pretend to be defeated and be captured by me. Let's trick those bastards from the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Zhao Ritian understood almost instantly. Then his face revealed an extremely cold and arrogant expression. He laughed arrogantly and said, "What is the dragon tribe? How dare you behave so atrociously in front of me? Die for me." Boom. There seemed to be blazing golden flames rising from Zhao Ritian's body. His body exuded a vast heavenly might. He punched Ling Xiao. It was as if a vast chaotic void had appeared and was about to evolve into a world. The Heavenly Emperor's Fist. Zhao Ritian directly activated the Heavenly Emperor's Fist. The Heavenly Emperor's ultimate emperor technique contained the power of great destruction. When Zhao Ritian used it, it had the power to destroy the world. This bastard is really going to fight? Ling Xiao was also shocked. He did not expect Zhao Ritian to use the Heavenly Emperor's Fist directly. If he did not trust Zhao Ritian, he would have thought that Zhao Ritian was going to kill him. What made Ling Xiao speechless was that Zhao Ritian, the bastard, was indeed the son of the Heavenly Emperor. His current cultivation had also reached the Great Sage Great Perfection realm. He was only half a step away from Holy King realm, which was similar to Ling Xiao's cultivation. Zhao Ritian had the complete Heavenly Emperor's scripture inheritance. He was also the son of the Heavenly Emperor. At this moment, when he activated the Heavenly Emperor's Fist, Ling Xiao felt like he was facing the 9 Emperor's shadows during the Heavenly Tribulation. "Thief, today, I will slaughter you for the Dragon Clan," Ling Xiao said righteously. Purple clouds rose around him as he punched out like a dragon. In an instant, the purple clouds covered a distance of 30,000 miles. It was as if a purple divine dragon was roaring out, clashing with Zhao Ritian's Heavenly Sovereign Fist. Crack! The void trembled as the 2 gigantic fists collided in the void. In an instant, boundless divine light exploded, causing the void to tremble violently. Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian were both sent flying back at the same time. Kill! Kill! Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian roared at the same time. Their eyes were filled with intense killing intent as they engaged in another battle. That terrifying fluctuation caused everyone from the Purple Moon Divine Clan to involuntarily turn grave. Great Elder Ling Xiao and this scoundrel's battle prowess has most likely already reached the level of a peak Holy King. Their talents are indeed peerless. Zihi sighed softly, a divine light shining in his eyes. As expected of the heaven's chosen son, possessing the fortune of the heavenly Tao, this Ling Xiao's strength cannot be underestimated. But who exactly is that thief? How could he have such powerful battle prowess? Zichuan was also a little surprised. All of them had ulterior motives. Initially, they were still thinking about how to let Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian fight, so that they could test the true strength of this chosen one. However, they did not expect that the two of them would immediately start fighting as soon as they met. If I'm not wrong, that thief should be the son of a great emperor. He has the bloodline of a great emperor. What a pity. If I could refine his bloodline, I might have been able to take that final step. Zi Fengyi's eyes were burning with a trace of pity. Previously, when Zhao Ritian disguised himself as Long Outyan and entered the Purple Moon Divine Clan, Zi Fenglai quickly saw that Zhao Ritian did not have the bloodline of the Dragon Clan. However, the bloodline in his body was extremely terrifying. It was suspected to be the bloodline of a great emperor. Hence, he was greedy and wanted to seize Zhao Ritian's bloodline. However, he did not expect that Zhao Ritian, who looked arrogant on the surface, was extremely cunning. Not only did he see through Zi Fenglia's sinister intentions, he even stole the Purple Moon Divine Gold of the Purple Moon Divine Clan and escaped from the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Now that he saw the battle between Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian, Zi Fenglai was even more certain that Zhao Ritian must have the bloodline of a great emperor. Great Elder, if you refine the bloodline of a great emperor and devour Ling Xiao's fortune of the heavenly Tao, you will definitely be able to break through to the Imperial Emperor realm. At that time, our Purple Moon Divine Clan might also be able to rule the heavens and achieve hegemony. Zichuan and Zihi said with incomparable excitement. Both of them are heavenly geniuses. It's inevitable that they have some powerful trump cards. Hence, it's better to let them fight first and test their strength. It's best if we can wait until both of them are injured before we take action. Hence, you must not reveal any flaws and let them see anything. Zi Fenglai warned Zichuan and Zihi through voice transmission. Don't worry, Great Elder. With us here, the two of them can forget about escaping. Zichuan said with a cold smile. There were 6 great elders of the Purple Moon Divine Clan here. In addition, Zi Ning'er and Zi Jian were also Saint Kinghood realm cultivators. There were also hundreds of powerful warriors of the Purple Moon Divine Clan around them. No matter how strong Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian were, they could forget about escaping. Zichuan and Zihi even felt that Zi Fenglai was being too cautious. In their opinion, with so many people taking action to capture Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian, the two of them would definitely not be able to escape. Rumble. The battle between Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian became more and more intense. Both of them were even beginning to be injured. However, Zhao Ritian seemed to be at a disadvantage. He kept coughing up blood, and his face became extremely pale. In order to make this battle seem more realistic, Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian did not use their most powerful emperor techniques. They were almost giving it their all. Ling Xiao's body was full of burns from the true sunfire. On the other hand, Zhao Ritian's chest had caved in and his ribs were broken. His aura had become weak. Ling Xiao, kill this thief who dares to impersonate me. Long Outyan roared. Ling Xiao, the Dragon Clan is not to be humiliated. This kid must die. The old goat said coldly. Ling Xiao, the Purple Moon Divine Clan is the ally of the Dragon Clan. This kid dared to sneak attack the Great Elder. He is the enemy of the Dragon Clan. Taoist Wuliang sneered. Ling Xiao, you are the invincible chosen one. This bastard is not even worthy to carry your shoes. Kill him. Long Xiaoxiao shouted. The 4 of them were filled with righteous indignation. Each of them looked extremely genuine as they cheered for Ling Xiao. Even though Zhao Ritian knew that the old goat and the others were trying to distract the Purple Moon Divine Clan, he still felt extremely depressed. Bastard, do you really think that I can't defeat Ling Xiao? If it wasn't for the Purple Moon Divine Clan, I would have beaten Ling Xiao into a pig's head. Zhao Ritian held his breath in his heart. However, on the surface, he looked extremely miserable. There was even a hint of fear and hesitation in his eyes. Ling Xiao could not help but praise Zhao Ritian's acting skills from the bottom of his heart. Chapter 2685. Rumble. The battle between Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian was extremely intense. In the end, the two of them even unleashed the combat strength of a supreme sage king, causing Zichuan and Zihe to look extremely solemn. However, Zhao Ritian was still defeated by Ling Xiao in the end. He was sent flying into the Silver Frost Valley by Ling Zhao's punch. He lay on the ground, coughing up blood, and his aura was extremely weak. However, Ling Xiao had also won by a great margin. There was a huge bloody hole in his chest. His white robe was stained with blood and his face was extremely pale. "Thief, what is your name? Why did you impersonate the dragon god of the dragon tribe?" Ling Xiao flew into the Silverfrost Valley and stepped on Zhao Ritian's chest. His eyes were filled with cold, murderous intent. "Humph! I am Di Hao, the son of the Heavenly Emperor. How dare you kill me? If you know what's good for you, let me go obediently. Otherwise, all of you will die without a burial place." Zhao Ritian roared at Ling Xiao with blood spurting out of his mouth. However, his eyes were still filled with arrogance and defiance. "The son of the Heavenly Emperor? I'm the Heavenly Emperor. Since you want to die, then die." Ling Xiao sneered. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Energy surged out from his feet, and he wanted to turn Zhao Ritian into a pile of meat paste in an instant. "Ling Xiao, my friend, please wait." Zifenglai had also flown into the Silver Frost Valley with the people of the Purple Moon God clan. When he saw the killing intent in Ling Zhao's eyes, he quickly rushed forward to stop him. Zhao Ritian could not die. If he died, how could he extract the great emperor's bloodline? Especially when Zhao Ritian had just said that he was the son of the Heavenly Emperor. Zifenglai trembled all over. His eyes were filled with shock. Although the Purple Moon God clan had hidden themselves in the Chaos Secret Territory, he had heard of the Heavenly Emperor's name. The Heavenly Emperor, the light that illuminated the heavens, the immortal world. That was the most dazzling name in the history of the human tribe. If Di Hao was really the son of the Heavenly Emperor, then Zifenglai would be rich. "Great Elder, this Di Hao is acting recklessly. He impersonated the dragon god of the dragon tribe and offended the Purple Moon God clan. He deserves to die." Ling Xiao looked at Zifenglai and said with a frown. Zifenglai could sense that Zhao Ritian's aura was already extremely weak. That kind of injury was definitely not an act. Ling Zhao's vitality was also greatly damaged. Although he had defeated Zhao Ritian, it was obvious that he was also heavily injured. He sneered in his heart, but on the surface he still pretended to be concerned and said, "Little friend Ling Xiao, you have eliminated a great enemy for my Purple Moon Divine clan, and my Purple Moon Divine clan is extremely grateful. However, this child stole my Purple Moon Divine gold, so why don't you give it to me? I want to interrogate him for the whereabouts of the Purple Moon Divine gold." Purple Moon Divine gold? The Purple Moon Divine gold was the most precious treasure of the Purple Moon Divine clan. It was time for him to hand it over. "Since that's the case, I'll leave him to First Elder." Ling Xiao furrowed his brows, but he still nodded. Ling Xiao extended his hand and grabbed. Instantly, the half-dead Zhao Ritian floated up and slowly flew towards Zifenglai. "Thank you, Ling Xiao." Zifenglai smiled and extended his hand to grab Zhao Ritian. He sneered in his heart. This so-called chosen child was really easy to deceive. However, this was also good. Once he extracted the great emperor bloodline from Zhao Ritian's body, he would kill Ling Xiao in the Purple Moon Divine clan and devour his heavenly fate. This was a fortune given to him by the heavens. Zhao Ritian instantly flew in front of Zifenglai. Zifenglai looked at Zhao Ritian, whose eyes were tightly shut, and suddenly felt a sense of vigilance. At that moment, Zhao Ritian opened his eyes. "First Elder, how have you been?" Zhao Ritian's lips curled into a mocking smile. His entire body suddenly burst into flames, and he immediately hugged Zifenglai. Rumble. At the same time, Ling Zhao's eyes flashed with murderous intent. The heavenly might flew out from between his eyebrows like a prison monument, and expanded into a huge mountain in the void. It contained a vast extreme emperor aura, and directly suppressed Zifenglai. Ling Zhao's body seemed to have the strange power of time surging. A mysterious light flowed around his body, as if it had turned into a long river of time. Ling Xiao pointed his finger at Zifenglia's forehead. The light from his finger was light, and contained an immortal fluctuation. Age-extinguishing finger. Zhao Ritian and Ling Zhao's sudden attack was out of everyone's expectations. It stunned everyone from the Purple Moon Divine clan. Previously, although Zifeng had the idea of letting Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian fight, this old fox had always been extremely vigilant and guarded. It was only when he saw Ling Xiao severely injure Zhao Ritian with his own eyes that his vigilance had mostly disappeared. This was especially so when he saw how weak Zhao Ritian's aura was when Ling Xiao handed Zhao Ritian over to him. This made his vigilance disappear completely. Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian had been waiting for this moment. After all, heavenly venerables were known as the heavenly venerables. They could observe the heart of the heavens and rule the heavenly Tao. They could sense danger from the unseen world. As long as they had the slightest bit of vigilance, it was impossible to sneak up on a heavenly venerate. Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian could conceal their killing intent and erase the unseen sense of danger. More importantly, they could eliminate Zifenglia's vigilance. From the beginning to the end, Zhao Ritian and Ling Xiao had only targeted Zifengli. As long as they killed Zifengli, the remaining people from the Purple Moon Divine clan would be no more than chickens and dogs. They would not be able to withstand a single blow. You're courting death. Zifengli was enraged. His eyes were filled with disbelief. He could not believe that Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian would join forces to attack him. Moreover, weren't the two of them seriously injured? How could they have hidden from his senses? In particular, Ling Xiao's Heavenly Might Prison Monument was activated by Ling Xiao using the Heavenly Prison Scripture. It contained the ultimate technique, Heavenly Might Prison Monument. It caused Zifenglia's body to tremble violently as he felt an indescribable terror. Rumble. Terrifying purple lightning rose around Zifenglia's body. In an instant, an endless amount of Great Path Order surged out. It was like a monstrous storm that wanted to send Zhao Ritian flying. However, what made Zifengli incredulous was that Zhao Ritian, who was protecting him, did not seem to be afraid of the surging Great Path Order. His entire body turned into a vast origin source flame. Like a divine chain of order, he sealed Zifenglia's body. This was not Zhao Ritian's real body. 1,000,000 times gravity. At the same time, Zhao Ritian's cold voice sounded behind Zifengli. Rumble. A vast pressure descended from the sky. It was as if tens of thousands of primordial divine mountains were pressing down on Zifenglia's body. It caused his body to tremble violently. It was as if he had fallen into a terrifying domain and was unable to move a single step. At this moment, the Heavenly Might Prison Monument and the Age Destruction Finger attacked at the same time. Zifengli let out a terrifying roar. Please remember the domain name of this book. Chapter 2686. Who could withstand the joint attack of Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian? The son of the Heavenly Emperor and the Chosen One could be said to be the two most dazzling peerless geniuses in this era. Even though Zifengli was a heavenly venerable expert, he could not withstand them. Not to mention, Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian were extremely cunning. They had tricked Zifengli and immediately unleashed a sure kill attack. Zifengli was instantly in a tragic situation. Rumble. The Heavenly Might pressed down like a prison monument. This extreme Tao Emperor weapon contained supreme power and directly slammed onto Zifenglia's body. The blazing light around Zifenglia's body gushed out. The purple robe on his body instantly blossomed with an unparalleled purple mist, and actually directly transformed into an incomparably gorgeous purple battle armor. It was a purple armor that was completely made of purple moon divine gold. Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian were instantly blinded by the dazzling light. Wasn't Zifengli a little too extravagant? The Purple Moon Divine Gold was a supreme metal, and was extremely precious to the Purple Moon Divine clan. With so much Purple Moon Divine Gold, it was unknown how long Zifengli had embezzled to forge such a powerful armor. It had to be said that although the armor made of Purple Moon Divine Gold was not an extreme Tao Emperor weapon, it had extremely powerful defensive power. The Heavenly Might slammed onto Zifenglia's body, like a prison monument. The purple armor shook violently. Although it could not withstand the suppression of the extreme Tao Emperor weapon, and instantly shattered like a spider web, It still blocked the sure kill attack for Zifenglai. He suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. Puff. At the same time, Ling Zhao's age destruction finger had reached Zifenglia's glabella and directly pierced through his glabella. With a flash of blood, Zifenglia's body trembled, and his face involuntarily revealed an extremely fearful expression. This was a Supreme Emperor technique that contained the destructive power of time. Half of Zifenglia's primordial spirit was instantly destroyed. A wave of destructive power of time surged, and wanted to turn his primordial spirit's sea of consciousness into nothingness. Get out of my way! Zifenglai roared furiously as blood spurted from his mouth. He madly urged the laws of the world and the surroundings to form a powerful defensive barrier in his sea of consciousness, protecting what remained of his soul. In the end, he managed to escape from Ling Zhao's sure kill attack. Although he was severely injured, he still survived. At this moment, the rage and killing intent in Zifenglia's heart was simply impossible to wash away. He had always treated Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian as his prey, as his opportunity to break through to the Imperial Emperor realm. However, he did not expect that these two prey would turn on him. Even though Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian were several realms lower than him, he still felt the threat of death. Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian's joint attack sounded slow, but in reality, it ended in an instant. The people of the Purple Moon Divine clan were completely stunned. They never thought that the heavily injured Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian would join forces to ambush Great Elder Zifenglai. Moreover, Zifenglai looked so miserable that he had suffered unimaginable injuries. When they came to their senses, they were instantly enraged. Ling Xiao, you're courting death. Zichuan and Zihe's eyes were blazing with killing intent. Their faces were filled with monstrous rage, and they were about to explode with terrifying killing intent as they charged towards Ling Xiao. Kill! 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 Those who go against the Purple Moon Divine clan will be killed without mercy. The eyes of the three elders above the Silver Frost Valley were filled with murderous intent as they activated the power of the formation. 3 terrifying divine lights shot out from the sky and locked onto Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian. Zining and Zijian's eyes were also cold. However, they instantly charged towards the old goat, Taoist Wuliang, Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao. Hee little girl, how dare you behave so atrociously in front of your grandfather? The old goat chuckled. In an instant he flicked his finger, and a formation plate in his palm flew out. In an instant black light rose and runes gathered, forming a formation around Zining, and Zijian. TSK, such a handsome young man. I really can't bear to cut your face a few times. Taoist Wuliang smiled. However, sword qi rampaged around him. Not only was it extremely sharp, but it was also extremely tricky. It constantly attacked Zijian's vitals and face, infuriating him to the point where he roared out furiously. He wanted to break out of the formation the old goat had cast down. However, how could the old goat and Taoist Wuliang let them escape? Even though Zining, and Zijian were Saint King Realm cultivators, they could only passively face the storm of attacks from the old goat's formation. There was no way for them to escape. You've been hunting geese all day long, but you've been pecked in the eye by the geese. But all of you have to die. Zifenglai's voice was like thunder, and his eyes were filled with cold killing intent. This was a great humiliation to him. Under the sneak attack of 2 prey he had almost been killed. However, at that moment, a silent sword light suddenly pierced through Zifenglai's chest, revealing half of the sword tip. It was swallowing a vast emperor's aura. Zhao Ritian stood behind Zifenglai, and the heavenly emperor sword in his hand was stabbed into Zifenglai's chest. Zifenglai, can a heavenly lord's body withstand the power of an emperor's weapon? Zhao Ritian said indifferently. You. How is this possible? Zifenglai's eyes were filled with disbelief. He had already moved away from Zhao Ritian and Ling Xiao. How was it possible for Zhao Ritian to appear behind him without him noticing? However, Zifenglai did not have time to think. He was instantly enveloped by a great sense of fear, and his eyes could not help but reveal an extremely horrified expression. The heavenly emperor's sword was continuously devouring the vitality in his body, and he did not even have the slightest ability to resist. This was the supreme sword of the Sky Emperor. After being refined by Zhao Ritian, it had become a peerless killing sword. If Zifenglai was at his peak, it would not be easy for the heavenly Dao Emperor sword to kill Zifenglai. However, Zifenglai was severely injured by Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian. His primordial spirit was almost destroyed by Ling Xiao's finger of annihilation. How could he withstand the heavenly Emperor sword? Don't you know that villains die because they talk too much? You know that we have an Emperor's weapon, yet you still talk so much nonsense. If you don't die, who will? Zhao Ritian said with a smile. However, his attack was extremely ruthless. The Heavenly Way Emperor sword emitted a monstrous sword qi. Not only did it devour the life source in Zifenglia's body, it even surged into Zifenglia's sea of consciousness and completely shattered his primordial spirit. Boom. Zhao Ritian pulled out the Heavenly Dao Emperor sword. Zifenglia's eyes were filled with fear and unwillingness. However, he could no longer speak. His body had turned into ashes. He had completely turned into ashes. Being killed by the Heavenly Emperor sword meant that one soul was completely destroyed. Not even a trace of his soul was left. Chapter 2687. Before the attacks of the Purple Moon Divine Clan could land, Zifenglai had already died at the hands of Zhao Runtian. Everyone from the Purple Moon Divine Clan was stunned. The Great Elder Zifenglai was the strongest person in the Purple Moon Divine Clan. His cultivation had reached the pinnacle of the Saint Path, and he was known as a Heavenly Lord. His strength was terrifying, and he was considered an overlord in the entire Chaos Secret Realm. Yet he had died in the hands of Zhao Runtian so sullenly? The faces of the Purple Moon Divine Clan were filled with disbelief. No. 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 My grandfather can't be dead. My grandfather is a Heavenly Lord. How could he die in the hands of despicable people like you? Zining trembled all over, and her face was full of tears. Her eyes were filled with anger and killing intent. You despicable and shameless people, hand over your lives. The eyes of Zichuan, Zihe, and the others instantly turned blood red. Zifenglai was the stabilizing force of the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Now that he had died so quietly, what should the Purple Moon Divine Clan do next? In the Chaos Secret Realm where the strong preyed on the weak, without Zifenglai, the Purple Moon Divine Clan would be swallowed up sooner or later, and not even dregs would be left. The eyes of the 5 great elders were filled with blood-red killing intent. They hated Ling Xiao and Zhao Runtian to the extreme. Those who kill will be killed by others. The Purple Moon Divine Clan is allowed to scheme against others, but others are not allowed to kill you? What a joke! Ling Xiao sneered, and his eyes were incomparably cold. Ling Xiao, these bastards from the Purple Moon Divine Clan have been chasing me for several days. I've long wanted to kill them. How about this? Leave those 3 old fellows to me, and I'll leave these 2 old things to you. Let's see who gets rid of them first. How about it? There was a hint of excitement in Zhao Runtian's eyes as he spoke. He could see that Ling Xiao's current cultivation was also at the Great Sage Perfection realm, just like him. His strength was unparalleled and unfathomable, which aroused the fighting spirit in Zhao Runtian's heart. Zhao Runtian had always regarded Ling Xiao as his greatest opponent. Even during the battle at the Ling Xiao mountain range, when everyone in the heavens said that Ling Xiao had turned into ashes, Zhao Runtian had always believed that Ling Xiao was still alive. Now that he had seen Ling Xiao, his competitive spirit had been ignited. No problem. Brother Tian, let me take a look at the son of the Heavenly Emperor. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Brother Ling Xiao, brother, I've been looking for a long time. Zhao Runtian replied. You. Brother Tian's peerless sword just now was truly godly. Killing that old dog Zifeng in one strike is truly refreshing. Ling Zhao's Ling S brothers S Ruintian's Emperor. Emperor's Emperor. Brothers Z's eyes. Ruintian's. Of them of and the longs. As Ruintian's. Runtian. Clan. Arg. Die Thief. Zichuan, Zihe, and the other clan elders were trembling in anger. The conversation between Ling Xiao and Zhao Runtian was the greatest provocation to the clan. It was as if Great Elder Zifenglai was nothing but a chicken. He could not even withstand a single blow. The 5 of them roared out in anger, charging towards Ling Xiao and Zhao Rantian. "Brother Ling Xiao, let the battle begin." Zhao Rongtian laughed out loud. In an instant, his eyes shone with an incomparably sharp light. His entire body shone with a resplendent light, as dazzling as the sun. The heavenly emperor sword in his hand released hundreds of millions of sword chi. In an instant, it soared into the sky and enveloped the 3 clan elders. Seeing Zhao Runtian like that, Ling Xiao smiled and shook his head. This guy was still as stubborn as before. However, Zichuan and Zihe had already charged over. Ling Xiao did not hold back, and went up to meet them. Rumble! An earth-shattering battle broke out in Silverfrost Valley. Ling Xiao faced Zichuan and Zihe while Zhao Runtian blocked the 3 clan elders. The 5 clan elders of the Purple Moon clan were all very strong. Their cultivation had reached the peerless Saint King realm. They stood at the 3rd stage of the Saint King realm. Their strength was unfathomable. However, they were not Zifenglai. Although they were only a small realm away from the heavenly Venerate realm, the difference was like heaven and earth. Ling Xiao and Zhao Runtian. One was the chosen son, while the other was the son of the heavenly emperor. They both possessed great fortune and great fortune. Their attacks were like lightning. They quickly suppressed the 5 clan elders and gained the upper hand. Although Zining, and Zijian hated Ling Xiao and Zhao Runtian to the bone, they were trapped by the old goat's formation. In addition, Daoist Wuyang's swordsmanship was divine. He would sneak attack them from time to time. The 2 of them had no time to fend for themselves. The hundreds of warriors of the Purple Moon clan were naturally handed over to Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao. Although Long Outyin did not bring the ancestral dragon Imperial Jade Seal, he and Long Xiaoxiao both possessed the ancestral dragon bloodline. They possessed the powerful inheritance of the dragon clan. Naturally, the Saint Realm experts could not withstand a single blow from them. Even the great Saint Realm experts were no match for the 2 of them. Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao killed more than half of the warriors of the Purple Moon clan. The battle did not last long before it ended. Although the 5 clan elders were strong, they were no match for Ling Xiao and Zhao Runtian. Especially when Zhao Runtian took out the heavenly Dao Emperor sword. It was as though he could kill gods and devils in his way. Although the 3 clan elders of the Purple Moon clan tried their best to resist, they were soon heavily injured by Zhao Runtian and captured alive. As for Zichuan and Zihe, although Ling Xiao did not use his extreme Dao Monarch armament, he had used 2 powerful Monarch techniques, the Heavenly Emperor Prison Suppression Art and the Age Annihilation Finger. After the 2 attacks, Zichuan and Zihe were heavily injured and on the verge of death. Zining, and Zijian were naturally captured by the old goat and Daoist Wuyang as well. As for the warriors of the Purple Moon Divine clan, Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao didn't show any mercy and killed them all. Zichuan, Zihe, and the others' eyes widened and they roared in anger. Their hearts were bleeding. These were the hopes of the Purple Moon clan. Despicable and shameless. You sneak attack the clan elders and now you are slaughtering the weak. What kind of heaven's chosen children are you? What kind of dragon monarch are you? Zichuan roared at Ling Xiao as his hair and beard stood on end. His eyes were about to spit fire. Despicable and shameless? You Purple Moon clan are really playing the blame game. Clan elder Zifenglai probably planned to use me and Zhao Runtian to fight, and then reap the benefits after both sides are injured. But it's a pity that he did not expect me to know Zhao Rantian, and had already seen through your schemes. Ling Xiao sneered. Chapter 2688. He was completely convinced by these people from the Purple Moon God clan. They were clearly after Ling Xiao and Zhao Rantian's bloodline fortune, but they still pretended to be righteous. Hypocrites like this were everywhere in the immortal realm. He hadn't thought that there would be one in the chaos mystic realm as well. Dragon Monarch? Do you think I'm the Dragon Monarch of the Dragon Clan? What bullshit Purple Moon God clan. If it weren't for the help of the ancestors of the Dragon Clan, you would have been destroyed long ago. To put it nicely, you and the Dragon Clan are allies. You're nothing more than slaves of the Dragon Clan, and now you want to kill your master? Long Outyin sneered. What do you want? The Dragon Clan is no longer the overlord of the Yao realm. The mighty dragon monarch is only a saint. And you want to ride roughshod over the heads of the Purple Moon God clan? I advise you to hurry up and let us go. Otherwise, when His Highness arrives, you'll all die. Zihi said in a cold voice, his eyes filled with ferocity, but at the same time he was cowardly. His words basically represented the thoughts of everyone in the Purple Moon God clan. Before, the Dragon clan was the overlord of the Yao realm. They were unparalleled in strength, and the Purple Moon God clan naturally obeyed their orders. But now, the Dragon clan was so weak that even the 5 sacred clans had lost their transcendent status. How could they still treat the Dragon clan the same as before? Not to mention, they had found themselves a new master. His Highness? Who is this His Highness you speak of? Is he the one who told you to target the Dragon clan? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he looked at Zichuan and Zihi and asked indifferently. His Highness is naturally His Highness. He stands high above the 9 heavens and rules over billions of lives. You'll never know the greatness of His Highness. Right now, aside from your Dragon clan, the other 4 sacred clans have all fallen into His Highness' hands. If you know what's good for you, hurry up and let us go. Otherwise, when His Highness' immortal army arrives, none of you will live. Zichuan sneered. He was clearly full of confidence in this mysterious His Highness. When he mentioned His Highness, his eyes were filled with fanatical worship. Slap. Ling Xiao slapped Zichuan's face, making a crisp sound. Zichuan's face instantly swelled up. So much nonsense. Just answer whatever I ask you. What's the background of His Highness? Ling Xiao said coldly. At the same time, his heart couldn't help but tremble. The other 4 sacred clans had all fallen into the hands of that mysterious Highness. Didn't that mean that Bai Hansong, Huangju, and the Phoenix Maiden had all been imprisoned? How was that possible? He was getting more and more curious about His Highness. You want to know His Highness' background? Do you think you're qualified? Zichuan glared angrily at Ling Xiao, his eyes filled with flames of anger and murderous intent. Ins. S's. God's his realm. Ss. Another elder had died at Zhao Rantian's hands. Brother Ling Xiao, I think it's enough to leave one person alive. Kill the rest. Zhao Xiao said with a cold smile. You, how dare you? Zichuan, Zihi, and the others were stunned. Their bodies trembled violently, and their eyes were filled with fear. They realized that Ling Xiao wasn't afraid of His Highness. He really would kill. Are you people of the Purple Moon Divine clan a bunch of idiots? You still can't see the situation clearly. I don't want to ask a second time. Now can anyone tell me the background of His Highness? Ling Xiao sighed. His gaze slowly swept across the people of the Purple Moon Divine clan. Ling Xiao, I'm the one who caused all this. Let the others of the Purple Moon Divine clan go. I'll tell you the background of His Highness, and I'll give you my life. Zining said trembling. She suppressed the anger and hatred in her eyes. She was filled with regret. She regretted going to the 5 sacrificial altar to attack Ling Xiao and the others. She regretted leading the wolf into the house and causing the death of her grandfather. Although she couldn't wait to tear Ling Xiao into pieces, she still wanted to protect the people of the Purple Moon Divine clan. Let's see if your information is enough to buy their lives. Ling Xiao said indifferently, as if he didn't have the slightest bit of pity for the fairer sex. As long as Zining dared to hesitate in the slightest, he didn't mind killing all of the people of the Purple Moon Divine clan. His Highness, we don't know the background of His Highness, because our Purple Moon Divine clan doesn't have the right to know. Even my grandfather has only seen His Highness once. But you can't imagine how terrifying His Highness is. His Highness already controls dozens of great worlds, and the army of saints under his command numbers in the millions. With a single word he can decide the life and death of billions of creatures in a world. He's high and mighty, and he's also the most promising person in this era to become an emperor. Although you're the chosen one, in front of His Highness, you're just the light of a firefly. The so-called 5 great sacred clans were nothing in His Highness' eyes. Even the people of the other 4 great sacred clans were all captured by a maid of His Highness. Although the current Eldritch Mystery Land is extremely chaotic, His Highness is destined to be the master of this mystery land. Ling Xiao, I don't need to lie to you. You're no match for His Highness. You killed my grandfather, and His Highness must already know. Maybe he's already sent people to the Purple Moon Divine Clan. If you let us go now and choose to side with His Highness, perhaps His Highness will spare your lives. Otherwise, no one will be able to save you. Zining said slowly, her voice extremely sincere. She wasn't threatening Ling Xiao and the others, but she firmly believed that Ling Xiao was no match for His Highness. Although Zining still didn't reveal the origin of His Highness, her brief description already showed how powerful and terrifying His Highness was. Controlling dozens of great worlds and having millions of saints under his command. What kind of terrifying power was this? A single maidservant had captured by Han Song and the others. One had to know that although it was said that only experts below the Saint King realm could enter the Eldritch Mystery Land, the other 4 great sacred clans still had their old ancestors. It wasn't difficult for them to send a few Saint Kings in. If His Highness's maid was this powerful, then how powerful was His Highness? Even Ling Xiao had developed a strong curiosity towards His Highness. His Highness? What big words, even more arrogant than I, Zhao Rantian. I really want to see who this His Highness is. Zhao Rantian sneered and said with some displeasure. He was the son of the Heavenly Emperor. Logically speaking, he should be the true His Highness. Not only was he respected by the human race, but he was also devoured by the myriad worlds. Many powerful races had to address him as His Highness the Heavenly Crown Prince. His Highness' actions exuded a strong sense of pretentiousness, which made Zhao Rantian instinctively feel very unhappy. What a joke! This king is the son of the Heavenly Emperor, but I'm not called His Highness. What kind of His Highness are you? Chapter 2689. Where is the Royal Highness you mentioned? Ling Xiao asked calmly. If the other 4 divine clans had fallen into the hands of the Royal Highness, it would be troublesome. He had to find a way to rescue them. The Royal Highness lives in the center of the Chaos Secret Territory, in the Eternal Immortal Palace. I've already told you everything I know. Can you let us go now? Zining said slowly. Her heart was filled with hatred. Although she looked sincere on the surface and persuaded Ling Xiao to submit to the Royal Highness, she could not wait for Ling Xiao to go to the Eternal Immortal Palace to find trouble with the Royal Highness. Then the Royal Highness would make their lives miserable. Let you go? I don't think I promised to let you go. The Purple Moon Divine Clan has betrayed the Dragon Clan. I don't think it's necessary for them to exist anymore. Brother Ritian, I'll have to trouble you again. But be gentle. It's best if you take the holy tree from them so that it won't go to waste. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. The faces of the people from the Purple Moon Divine Clan changed drastically. Instantly, they revealed a look of intense fear, and began to curse at Ling Xiao. Bastard, you didn't keep your promise. The Royal Highness will not let you go. The Royal Highness will avenge us. We will wait for you in the underworld. Ah, I don't want to die. Spare me, spare me. Some of the people from the Purple Moon Divine Clan cursed loudly, while some of them begged for mercy. They never thought that Ling Xiao would actually be so crazy as to actually dare to attack them. Zhao Ritian did not have the time to listen to their screams. He laughed coldly, and the Heavenly Dao Emperor sword turned into a sword light. In an instant, it killed all the remaining people of the Purple Moon God Clan. Their holy Dao trees were taken away, leaving only Zining alive. The Purple Moon Divine Clan people were all Saint Kings. The holy tree was formed from the essence of their bodies. It contained all of their understanding and great path law. It would be of great help to Ling Xiao in perfecting the 3,000 great paths. As for Zining, Ling Xiao did not want to show mercy to her. He wanted to search her soul to verify what she said. The Purple Moon Divine Clan harbored ill intentions against Ling Xiao. They were after Ling Xiao's heavenly fate. Naturally, Ling Xiao would not be merciful. Ling Xiao, you'll die a horrible death. His Highness will avenge us. Even if I become a ghost, I won't let you go. Zining, did not hide the hatred and killing intent in her eyes as she glared at Ling Xiao. Avenge you? Zining, you are so childish. Fine, then let me tell you another cruel truth. The people hiding in the dark can come out now. If I'm not wrong, You should be the person sent by His Highness, right? Ling Xiao laughed coldly. Then his gaze landed on the sky above Silverfrost Valley. There was a strange cloud floating there. As soon as Ling Xiao finished speaking, the cloud shone brightly. In an instant, an extraordinarily beautiful woman in white appeared in the sky. That woman carried a long sword on her back. She looked elegant and refined. Her beauty was indescribable. However, her face was extremely cold and arrogant. She stood above the 9 heavens and looked down on Ling Xiao and the others. Her eyes were like ice that would never melt, without the slightest hint of emotion. She was like a 9 heavens divine dragon looking down on ants. She had a high and mighty attitude. Immortal emissary, save us. These people are despicable and shameless. They plotted against our Purple Moon divine clan and disrespected His Highness. They deserve to die. Immortal emissary, please punish them and kill them. When Zining saw the woman in white in the sky, she immediately became agitated. Her eyes were filled with hope as she hurriedly shouted, Zining, don't waste your energy. The immortal emissary you speak of has arrived long ago. If she wanted to save you, she would have done so long ago. In her eyes, you are just a bunch of ants. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, a hint of mockery in his eyes. The woman in white's strength was unfathomable. Although she was a peerless holy king, she was very dangerous. She had arrived before Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian had killed Zichuan and Zihe. However, this woman in white had been hiding at the side, without any intention of standing up for the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Ling Xiao had asked Zhao Ritian to attack just now because he wanted to test this woman in white. But now, it seemed that the Purple Moon Divine Clan was a bunch of abandoned pawns. They had been abandoned. It was a pity that they kept saying that His Highness would avenge them. What a joke. What? Zininger was stunned. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. You can see through this immortal emissary's chi concealing technique? Not bad, not bad. If you kneel down and pledge your loyalty to this immortal emissary will only kill a few of them and spare your worthless life. The woman in white looked at Ling Xiao with some surprise. However, her voice was still incomparably cold and arrogant. From the beginning to the end, the woman in white did not even look at Zining. Pledge loyalty? Immortal emissary, you must be joking. I'm afraid that one day, I will be like the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Immortal emissary, you will not save me. Why don't you bring me to see Your Highness? Ling Xiao said with a smile. Purple Moon Divine Clan? They can't even deal with the Dragon Clan. They're just a bunch of trash. If trash dies, then so be it. It just gives me an excuse to kill them. After all, His Highness' dog is dead. I have to avenge His Highness, don't I? It could be said that they had died a worthy death. As for you, who do you think you are to want to see His Highness? The woman in white said coldly. However, her words were like a heavy hammer that slammed into Zininger's chest. Zininger trembled all over. Her face was incomparably pale, and her eyes were filled with disbelief and despair. The Purple Moon Divine Clan had been abandoned long ago? The Highness that the Purple Moon Divine Clan had been thinking of, the Highness that they wholeheartedly pledged their loyalty to, had only treated them as useless ants and trash. He did not have the slightest bit of pity and had casually abandoned them. What kind of despair was this? Zininger, do you see? This is the Highness that you pledged your loyalty to. Haha. How ironic. Ling Xiao laughed, his eyes filled with mockery. However, I'm very curious. Where did you get such a strong sense of superiority? You're just a little maidservant, and yet you're so arrogant. I almost thought that you were the maidservant of an emperor. Ling Xiao stared at the woman in white and said indifferently. You're asking for death. His Highness cannot be humiliated. You insignificant ants will never know the greatness of His Highness. What is an emperor? In the future, even an emperor will have to bow down before His Highness. You've successfully angered me. For the glory of His Highness, I grant you death. The woman in white's eyes flashed with murderous intent as she stared at Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian. Chapter 2690. The lady in white had an arrogant attitude. Although she knew that Zifenglai had died in the hands of Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian, she was not moved at all. It was as if Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian were two ants that she could crush at any time. Haha. How interesting. I, Zhao Ritian, have not seen such an arrogant person in a long time. How dare a mere maid boast so shamelessly? Brother Ling Xiao, don't fight with me. I'll teach this deity emissary how to behave. Zhao Ritian's eyes flashed coldly as he sneered. He could not stand the lady in white's arrogant attitude. What a joke. Even Zifenglai, a heavenly venerable, had died under Zhao Ritian's heavenly Dao Emperor sword. Who was this woman in white? She was only a supreme saint king. How dare she be so arrogant? Then I'll leave it to Brother Ritian. However, Brother Ritian, please go easy on her. Don't kill this deity emissary. After all, we still need her to find the whereabouts of His Highness. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. Don't worry. I'll be gentle with her. Zhao Ritian said with a smile. You're about to die and you still dare to boast? The lady in white's eyes flashed coldly as she exuded an extremely dangerous aura. Clang. A clear sword chime resounded across the sky. The ancient sword behind the lady in white was unsheathed. Sword chi swept across the area, causing her aura to become extremely sharp. The lady in white was exuding an apocalyptic aura. It was filled with a sense of destruction as if she was going to destroy the entire universe. She had cultivated an extremely terrifying sword will, and the ancient sword in her hand was a supreme treasure. Before she even made her move, there was already an earth-shattering aura that came crashing down on Zhao Ritian. In the name of the apocalypse, I bestow death upon you. The lady in white's voice was cold and arrogant. It was as if she was a deity from the 9 heavens who was going to judge a sinner in the mortal world. As soon as she finished speaking, a thunderclap exploded in the void. The ancient sword in her hand released an incomparably resplendent sword light that suppressed Zhao Ritian in a mighty manner. What a powerful destruction sword Dao. No wonder it's so arrogant. It does have the right to be arrogant. Ling Zhao's eyes revealed a trace of surprise. Although the woman in white was arrogant and conceited, her strength was indeed extremely terrifying. Ling Xiao had only seen such pure destruction sword principle from one person. Dugachiobai. This white-clothed woman's sword was like a falling star, containing a world-destroying sword intent. She actually cultivated an extremely powerful inheritance, but in terms of strength, she was already comparable to an Empyrean powerhouse. Even Zifenglai could not possibly have such terrifying battle strength. Even a maid of that mysterious highness was so powerful. What realm had that highness's cultivation reached? Emperor. Ling Xiao could vaguely sense that this trip to the prehistoric mystic realm would not be so smooth. Good timing. Zhao Ritian's eyes were extremely bright, containing an extremely powerful battle intent. Blazing flames rose around his body. He instantly soared into the sky and threw a punch at the white-clothed woman. Chaotic light rose. Zhao Ritian was wrapped in an unparalleled battle intent. Scenes of the birth and death of millions of worlds appeared around him. His punch was going to split the heavens and earth apart, destroying all things. It contained an invincible force that could suppress the heavens. The Heavenly Emperor's fist. After not seeing each other for 100 years, Ling Xiao realized that Zhao Ritian had completely comprehended the essence of the Heavenly Emperor's fist. He used the Heavenly Emperor's scripture to activate the Heavenly Emperor's fist, allowing the Heavenly Emperor's peerless fist intent to erupt in front of the world once again. Rumble. Zhao Ritian's Heavenly Emperor's fist contained an unstoppable force. Chaotic light gushed out from his body, causing the void to distort. The sword aura that filled the sky could not reach Zhao Ritian at all. It began to distort like a storm. Zhao Ritian soared into the sky and threw a punch at the white-clothed lady's ancient sword. Clang. A strange sound wave rippled out. The ancient sword in the white-clothed lady's hand let out a sword hum that sounded like a dragon's roar. The surrounding void surged, and millions of divine lights bloomed at the same time. The Heavenly Emperor's fist. You're the son of the Heavenly Emperor in the divine world? The white-clothed lady's eyes narrowed as she stared at Zhao Ritian. You have good taste. Why don't you join me? I still lack a maid like you. Zhao Ritian smiled faintly. Humph. So what if you're the son of the Heavenly Emperor? The Heavenly Emperor has already been annihilated in the dust of time. The so-called son of the Heavenly Emperor is just a piece of trash. Only His Highness is qualified to be the future epic master. I'm sure His Highness will be very happy to capture you." The white-clothed lady snorted coldly. Her eyes were filled with incomparably cold killing intent. The ancient sword in her hand shone brightly. There was actually a mysterious emperor's aura gushing out from it. It contained an unparalleled power that could destroy the heavens and earth. The surrounding void shattered silently, forming a terrifying storm. The white-clothed lady's aura was incomparably sharp. It contained a destructive fluctuation. In an instant, she held the sword in her hand. The destructive storm that filled the sky surged towards Zhao Ritian. Extreme Emperor Weapon? Zhao Ritian's eyes revealed a tinge of surprise. It was only until the white-clothed lady had fully activated the power of the ancient sword in her hand that Zhao Ritian realized that the ancient sword was actually an Extreme Emperor weapon. At that moment, the ancient sword seemed to have completely awakened. It gushed out an incomparably terrifying emperor's aura. The body of the sword had completely turned pitch black. Streaks of destructive sword chi were like a storm that surged downwards. The maid actually possessed an Extreme Emperor weapon. This gave Zhao Ritian a deeper understanding of His Highness's strength. Boom! Zhao Ritian no longer held back. Chaotic light rose around his body. The Heavenly Emperor sword in his hand had completely awakened. Boundless power of the great Tao surged. A mysterious shadow of the heavens and earth seemed to appear in the boundless chaotic aura. In an instant it turned into a shocking sword light. It swept across the heavens and earth and charged towards the white-clothed lady. Kata! The void seemed to have shattered. The two powerful Extreme Emperor weapons collided and unleashed a destructive power. Terrifying sword chi intertwined and instantly engulfed Zhao Ritian and the white-clothed lady. Boom! 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 The speed of Zhao Ritian and the lady in white became extremely fast. The two of them turned into two balls of light, one golden and one black. They kept colliding in the void. Every time they collided, it was as if a meteor had fallen. Terrifying energy waves burst out from the collision. Even though the spatial barrier of the Chaos Secret Realm was incomparably strong, it was still destroyed by the two Extreme Emperor weapons. No wonder this little girl is so arrogant. So she has an Extreme Emperor weapon. Zhao Ritian sneered in his heart. The white-clothed lady's strength was already incomparably strong. He suspected that she possessed some kind of powerful inheritance. In addition to the Extreme Emperor weapon, her strength was even more terrifying. Even Zifenlai might not be a match for the white-clothed lady. Zhao Ritian also felt an immense pressure. However, it also triggered a strong battle intent in his heart. Chapter 2691. The white-robed lady was extremely shocked. Although she was the Lord's maidservant, she had inherited a peerless inheritance. The sword in her hand was the ancient sword of annihilation, a true flawless emperor weapon. She had followed the Lord and swept through dozens of great thousand worlds. Even the peerless geniuses of the great thousand worlds were like ants in her eyes. Zhao Ritian's identity as the son of the Heavenly Emperor did not move her. She had seen and killed too many sky prides in her life. Not to mention, her cultivation base was a whole realm higher than Zhao Ritian's. She thought that she would be able to take Zhao Ritian down easily. However, after exchanging blows, she realized that the son of the Heavenly Emperor was indeed the son of the Heavenly Emperor. Whether it was the son of the Heavenly Emperor's fist or the Heavenly Emperor sword, they both exploded with peerless power. She felt a strong threat. However, her competitive spirit was also stimulated. Her attacks became fiercer. Rumble. The Silverfrost Valley was originally a valley with a few ancient mountains around it. However, under the battle between Zhao Ritian and the white-robed lady, the surrounding mountains began to crumble. The ground cracked open, the void shattered, and a storm swept out in all directions. It was a horrifying scene of apocalypse. Although the Great Desolation secret realm was sparsely populated, this was still the territory of the Purple Moon divine race, and there were many powerful demonic beasts and indigenous races in the surroundings. The great battle that happened here still alarmed many people, causing them to be bewildered and their hearts to be filled with apprehension. Such terrifying fluctuations. Could it be that two heavenly masters were fighting? Ling Xiao, this little girl's combat strength is so strong. The extreme Dao Emperor weapon in her hand is very powerful. It vaguely exudes a destructive fluctuation. Moreover, it has the same origin as her powerful inheritance. The old goat came forward and looked at Ling Xiao in surprise. That's right. The ancient sword in the white-robed lady's hand contains the great Tao of annihilation. She must have obtained a destructive inheritance as well. Who exactly was His Highness? Even a maidservant is so powerful. Ling Xiao exclaimed in his heart. The white-robed lady was the Lord's maidservant. However, she was extremely talented. She had the great emperor's inheritance, and an extreme Dao Emperor weapon. With such talent and combat strength, she could look down on all heroes. No wonder she was so arrogant. Taoist Wuliang looked at the white-robed lady in silence. There was a solemn look in his eyes. The old goat also noticed that something was wrong with Taoist Wuliang. He asked curiously, Ox-nosed Taoist, why aren't you saying anything? Could it be that you have seen through their origins? The old goat's casual question, but Taoist Wuliang nodding his head Ant's head. Taoist Wuliang nodded his head. He Taoist. When Ling Xiao and the old goat heard these two words, they had an extremely strange feeling in their hearts. Taoist Wuliang was Taoistist. That's right. Taoist Wuliang Taoist. Taoist. Of the Taoist. Taoist Wuliangs. Taoist Sarah. This is too awesome. The old goat's eyes widened, his eyes filled with shock. No one knew how long this universe had existed. Perhaps even the great emperors would find it hard to say. Epochs after epochs, powerful races were annihilated in the long river of time. No one could escape the power of time. Even the invincible great emperors would be obliterated by time and turn into a pile of dust. However, according to some ancient records, there had been 108 epochs since the creation of the world. The human race was the 108th epoch lord. However, at the end of this epoch, the great epic calamity descended. It was said to be the most terrifying great epic calamity, also known as the immeasurable calamity. This great calamity of an epoch would sweep through the myriad worlds. No one would be able to escape. At that time, there would probably be billions of lives that would fall. Blood would dye the earth red. The demon lord would overturn the world and all living beings would wail in grief. Although there were 108 epochs, it was too long ago after all. Each epoch could easily last for billions of years. Now there were only records of the recent few epochs. For example, the demon race was a powerful race that had risen a few epochs ago. They were also the previous epoch's overlords. Their strength was unparalleled and unfathomable. Until now, the demon race still had 3 invincible great emperors. But the first epoch master? This identity was indeed very powerful, very awesome, very powerful. Are the immortals very powerful? Ling Xiao asked. The immortals are very strong, far stronger than you can imagine. It was said that at the beginning of the world, thousands of races were fighting for supremacy. Billions of powerful creatures were fighting each other endlessly. But in the end, the immortals were able to suppress the thousands of races. With the thousands of races as their servants, they created an incomparably brilliant immortal civilization. At that time, everyone was proud to be able to cultivate to the true immortal realm. After cultivating to the true immortal realm, one could become an immortal and become a member of the immortals. The strength of the immortals is beyond our imagination. Whether it is alchemy, refining weapons, formations, or talismans, they were all passed down by the immortals. Taoist Wuliang said slowly with a hint of reverence in his eyes. Ling Xiao frowned. He had never seen Taoist Wuliang with such an expression. Although Taoist Wuliang was carefree and unrestrained, he was arrogant in his bones. Even in the face of the demon race and the demon race's emperors, he was the same. However, when the immortals were mentioned, Taoist Wuliang showed a look of reverence. Was this so-called immortals really that powerful? Ox-nosed old Taoist, how do you know so much about the immortals? This is the first epoch master. I'm afraid even the emperors and great emperors might not know about it. However, these guys are so arrogant. Even a maid is so arrogant. It seems like they have the right to be arrogant. Old Goat asked curiously, "Do you know how our Tao race came to be?" Taoist Wuliang smiled bitterly, and did not answer Taoist Wuliang directly. Instead he asked a question. Tao race? Isn't the Tao race extremely ancient? Aren't they the masters of the ancient era? Could it be related to the immortals? Old Goat asked. That's right. The Tao race is actually a branch of the immortals. In other words, they are the servants of the immortals. Taoist Wuliang said with a sigh. What? This time, even Ling Xiao was shocked. Although the Tao race was extremely weak now, they were the masters of the ancient era. They were older than the human race and even older than the demon race and the demon race. To be able to become an epic master, one could see that the Tao race's strength was extremely terrifying. However, Taoist Wuliang said that the Tao race was the servants of the immortals? This statement was too shocking. Chapter 2692. The immortals were the first epic master. When the epic calamity descended, the immortals suffered heavy losses. For some reason, they did not come out to fight for hegemony. Instead, they lived in seclusion. No one knows how terrifying the immortals are now. Although the immortals did not come out, they have been influencing the general trend of the world. The Taoist race obtained a trace of the immortals' bloodline, and formed a race that is also the immortals' servant. The Taoist race became the epic master because of the immortals' will. So, do you understand how powerful the immortals are? Taoist Wuliang said slowly. This is really powerful. They lived in seclusion, but were able to secure the position of epic master. I'm afraid the immortals' strength is even more terrifying than the devil race, right? No wonder a maid is so arrogant. The old goat widened his eyes in disbelief. After hearing Taoist Wuliang's words, he felt much better in his heart. The immortals were so powerful that a maid naturally had the right to be arrogant. Although the devil race is powerful, their foundation is still far from the immortals. So Ling Xiao, if you want to lead the human race through the epic calamity, the devil race and the immortals can't avoid it no matter what. Taoist Wuliang sighed softly. Old Taoist, you're not honest. Why didn't I hear you talk about the immortals before? The old goat asked with an unfriendly face. You might not believe it, but I don't remember anything about the immortals. It's as if it was sealed. Until I saw this white-robed woman, many memories of the immortals appeared in my mind. Taoist Wuliang said slowly. However, his words made Ling Xiao and the old goat's hair stand on end. After countless years and countless generations of bloodline, it could still affect a person's memory. Was the immortals' bloodline that terrifying? According to Taoist Wuliang, even the Taoist race was the immortals' servant. Then, who knew how many powerful races in the universe were the immortals' pawns? No wonder the mysterious immortals' highness could silently dominate dozens of upper-class worlds, and have millions of saint experts under his command. Previously, when Ling Xiao was in the divine realm, there was a saying that if one did not become a saint, one would be an ant. But from the looks of it now, saint kings were everywhere, and saints were even worse than dogs. Even saints were probably only ants, right? Ling Xiao was extremely certain that His Highness's cultivation had reached the Imperial Emperor realm. A storm was brewing, and the myriad worlds were about to fall into complete chaos. Rumble. The battle between Zhao Ritian and the Lady in White was still ongoing. However, Ling Xiao, Old Goat, and Taoist Wuliang's hearts were heavy and full of worries. Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao only listened without saying anything, but they were also stunned by Taoist Wuliang's words. Long Outyin, in particular, had always thought that the Dragon Clan was the oldest and most powerful overlord. But now, according to Taoist Wuliang, the Demon Clan was even the mounts of the immortals in ancient times. They were even worse than slaves. Long Outyin felt a deep sense of malice and hurt. No matter what, no matter how difficult the road is, we have to go on. The fight with the immortals was still far away. The most important thing now was to save Bai Hansong, Phoenix Maiden and the others. The demon realm could not fall into chaos. It had to be in our hands. The immortals entered the Chaos Secret Realm with the intention of controlling the demon realm. Ling Xiao said slowly with a hint of sharpness in his eyes. That His Highness had captured by Han Song, Phoenix Maiden, and the other members of the 4 great sacred clans. He had even ordered the Purple Moon Divine Clan to capture the members of the Dragon Clan. He wanted to wipe out the 5 great sacred clans in one fell swoop. Other than having some ulterior motive, he probably also had the intention of controlling the entire demon realm. Ling Xiao stared at the lady in white in the void, his eyes emitting a cold light. A powerful aura rose around him, as if he was ready to attack at any time. Ling Xiao did not think that Zhao Ritian could not defeat the lady in white. He only wanted to prevent her from escaping. After all, the members of the 4 great sacred clans were in the hands of that His Highness. Ling Xiao was already in a passive position. If he could capture the lady in white, perhaps he could exchange her for the members of the 4 great sacred clans. Therefore, no matter what, the lady in white had to stay. Rumble. The battle between Zhao Ritian and the lady in white was extremely intense. Both of them were truly enraged. Every move they made was aimed at each other's vital points. 2 balls of light, one gold and one black, collided with each other. Sword chi rose and divine light swept across. The scene was extremely terrifying. However, Ling Xiao could tell that Zhao Ritian had the upper hand and was firmly suppressing the lady in white. It seemed like it was only a matter of time before the lady in white was defeated. Damn it. This bastard is only in the Great Saint Realm. How can he have such terrifying combat strength? The lady in white's expression was gloomy. She was shocked and furious. Although she had the Great Annihilation inheritance, and the ancient annihilation sword in her hand could explode with destructive power, she originally thought that she could easily kill a Great Saint Realm expert. However, Zhao Ritian had the inheritance of 2 great emperors, the Heavenly Emperor and the Flame Emperor. He even had a few Supreme Emperor weapons in his hands. He was only unwilling to take advantage of the situation. Therefore, he used the Heavenly Emperor sword to fight. However, the Heavenly Emperor was a peerless expert at the beginning of the human race era. He dominated the heavens and slaughtered great emperors. His strength was terrifying. Regardless of whether it was the fist Dao or the sword Dao, they contained a grand and majestic aura. It was as if he was the supreme ruler that suppressed the chaos. Zhao Ritian was the son of the Heavenly Emperor. He had also obtained the complete inheritance of the Heavenly Emperor scripture. With the Heavenly Emperor sword in his hand, he displayed the powerful sword skills in the Heavenly Emperor scripture. There was a supreme power that could split the heavens and earth. Moreover, Zhao Ritian seemed to be tireless. The more he fought, the more courageous he became. This caused the lady in white to feel more and more pressure. She was at a disadvantage in terms of aura. Very well. Son of the Heavenly Emperor, you are qualified to make me use the Great Annihilation 3 swords. I originally wanted to capture you alive and hand you over to the Heavenly Emperor. Since you are so reckless, don't blame me for being rude. The lady in white's eyes were extremely cold. A terrifying destructive aura rose around her. Great Annihilation 3 swords? I, Zhao Ritian, would like to see it for myself. However, don't worry. Once I capture you, I won't kill you so quickly. Even if I want to kill you, I'll kill you in front of the Heavenly Emperor. Don't you think so? Zhao Ritian smiled faintly. His eyes were filled with arrogance. Arrogant. The lady in white's face turned cold. The murderous intent in her eyes seemed to have materialized. The Great Annihilation ancient sword in her hand emitted a black divine light. In an instant, it was like a vast sea that enveloped the void in all directions. Great Annihilation sword, ultimate destruction. The woman in white let out a low growl. Her entire body was instantly tainted by the black light. Her white clothes also turned pitch black. As she swung her sword, the black sea silently surged towards Zhao Ritian. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.